me. That's what I thank you. Everything in my life, it is you, Lord. When I want to be saved, now you deliver me. That's what
The link. Oh,
thank you, Jehovah. Say thank you, Lord. Jehovah Shammah, Shaddai, thank you. Thank you. Provider, thank you. Thank you. Nothing removes you. I thank you. Grateful, grateful for everything. I say thank you, Lord. Keep me thank you. Thank you. Reach over trouble water. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you. Jehovah Yahweh. I say Yahweh. You've been faithful. You promised to us. I never change. I will trust, praise you, and worship. Oh, Jehovah. I say thank
good
you.
evening. Good evening. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Zane. So right here to the Liberia Public Radio, the aftermath of what appears to be a major political rally in the nation capital of the Republic of Liberia. Welcome to all our viewers, Agnes, Fender Samka, Francis Pate, and all of you, DJ Power from San Diego. Good evening. Welcome. This is the Liberia Public Radio. Let's listen to this beautiful gospel music.
Thank you, 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 thank you. Reach for the trouble water. Thank you, Yahweh.
Oh, yes. What a beautiful song here this evening. Thank you, Lord. We are so blessed by there. Oh, man. Welcome, and Alfonso Zane. So, to the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. This is song, what a beautiful song here by the Liberian gospel artist based right here in the U.S. Minister Newland is based within the Baltimore, Maryland. They were right here in the USA. Good evening. Welcome to the show. I'm Alfonso Zane, so of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We say good evening to what a day in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. I'm telling you, the politics right now is really at a point, is at a zenith, no turning back. Everybody is fighting here. But we will try to keep the conversation fair, balanced, and proportional here this evening. Just hit the share button if you will. It doesn't matter which party you are for. And tonight conversation is going to be a little bit different here. I'm going to play like a role things that are not being discussed and they are not being telling you is what I'm going to be telling you here this evening. And we're going to find the pathway. What is the pathway into this presidential elections, the media, including myself, much is not being done to open the eyes of the electorate, the ordinary people. We should serve as a facilitator to create this conversation. Welcome to the show. The time right here is 7:07 Eastern Standard Time from the New England Bureau. The aftermath of the Unity Party major political rally in the nation's capital of Liberia. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome and LPR-TV. Welcome to the show. The guy looks like a paramount chief from the southeastern south of Grand County this evening because I'm here to talk about our country. And for any reason, perhaps this conversation will not pivot in your direction, but we need to create a conversation, free, fair, balanced, and create this open air conversation, not to incite that much. But I do know I have folks like the liberal Amos George, the ANC presumptive police commissioner. You have Terry there, who might be maybe going to RIA perhaps to replace Livingstone when Joseph Boyka wins it. And you have the liberal on this network who deserted his party, Liberty Party, and seeking political refuge with the Unity Party. And hopefully, Tiawan Gongloga, Sisi Goya, they're all going to be here this evening for us to have a conversation. And of course, you, our viewers, contributor. As a matter of fact, if anybody wants to come on here and you are well situated, let us know. I could throw this link out here because we have reached a consequential, a crucial time in the histories of the politics of Liberia. This building is what has been heavily contested in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. And according to the official calendar of the National Election Commission, that's the institution responsible for the conduct of free, fair, transparent elections, hopefully with the help of the international community and other interest groups, the civil society supervision. 23 days to go. Can you imagine a couple of months or weeks ago, we were talking about 1 year. The neverness is in the making now. But something caught my attention and I decided to bring it out into the public domain to help the process because the conspiracy theory, the apprehension, the subliminal messages, the makeup, the self-perceptions of electors, supporters, surrogate, and even their talking heads on these networks, they are unable to discuss it. Where did this crowd pageantry in the politics of Liberia come from and how people are making conclusions to that? I'm trying to explore the avenue, the answers, and perhaps you will help me. However, I want to put mine out there. We're going to have a conversation. You are at liberty to disabuse me and see what the heck is he coming from with this one here. I've already finished drawing the conclusion. My party will win. Joseph Boyka will win. CDC will win. ANC will win. Tiawan Gongo. For everyone that you talk to, they are self-confident. They will win. And it is a fact. Anyone who goes into a race, they are not going there to lose. Even when they are on the day end, their perception, their determination to energize their base is to win. You're not going to declare to your supporters, I'm in this race here, but I want to lose the race. You're not going to get a dime either to get that financial support to make your political case. But it's the media industry in Liberia, in the US, talk show hosts, commentators, propagandists. Well, the propagandists is a little bit different because they have a assigned duty to elevate their campaign. If you are in the media war, your job is to keep it fair, balanced, proportionate. And this is what we try to do here as much as possible on this network. Not necessarily to tell you what you want to hear, but we need to tell you what you need to know. because it's like people cholesterol and blood pressure now is going over the roof, saying certain things, and without even drawing the conclusion and looking at the scientific aspect of it by say, wait a minute, is this practical? Is this logical? How is this information being disseminated? But the politics of Liberia never have I seen in the history of that country of lately. It started late of 2017. And it has escalated, it has been elevated to the different level with this crowd pageantry for which electorates, their supporters, are not coming to a conclusion that yes, they will win. And the deal is sealed up. It is not over until it is over. This is a post discussion after the Unity Party, the former ruling establishment, which appears to be one of the major political rival now. So the Congress of Democratic Change, President George Weah is fighting for his political career. The seditions, they were all observing, people all watching, and all of that. And so when you talk to them, they will say, it's cool. When you talk to Unity Partisan, they said, we already locked it down. When you talk to the CPP/ANC portions of Liberty Party, they say the deal is sealed up, for which they are designed, they managed to design exoteric name. The coin a specific name to energize their bases. The CPP ANC, Fixer 1, Fixer 2. The main opposition to Unity Party, Rescue 1, Rescue 2. And you have the guy, the broom guy, is coming to claim to sweep the. It was so terrible today. The streets were flooding. This lot we have to do as a people, as a nation. It's 7:14 Eastern Standard Time. We want to be having your packet. In fact, I want to put this link here as well, just in case you are properly situated and you want to form part of this conversation. You are at liberty and you have the right to express your view, agree and disagree. What we do demand on this network is civility in our talking point, and we respect you. We intend not to leave no one behind, because no one should be left behind in the national conversation of a country. So we do not sanction voices, but we want you to respect the views and opinion. In a civilized world, we sit, talk, agree, and disagree, and thereby we find a common ground. Do not mind these politicians. How many of these political parties, some of you have never supported before, and at the end of the day, and they turn it to song? I think the liberal knows some of those songs. What? Papa, the daddy should forgive the stepper or whatever. I mean, Liberians are so creative in singing. Every other town versus sons. I remember in the days of Taylor, the monkey came down and this one go up, and then bamboo went, bamboo went. Bamboo is a rough animal. It breaks, it destroys. And then the CDC country giant. Giant does not in any way stabilize things. Giant is very forceful in getting stuff. Now we are come with Fixer 1, Fixer 2, Rescue 1, Rescue 2. That is quite interesting. He's here seeking political refuge with the Unity Party. I get him on record. He's lobbying with Joseph Boykana for job. And I dare him here this evening to deny it. I will play this tape and expose him. These are the people who are not telling us and telling you the truth because they have political interests. Let's get a ball rolling. I'm Alfonso Zienso. Welcome to the show. Okay. Ooh. Let's see here. Let's see. Good evening. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. In this post-conversation, joining me from Saxtown, Sacramento, is the liberal progressive of this network. The most liberal on this network. All day my phone been bustling, jubilating. He told me it's like it's already sealed up. I'm not sure where he came from with that, But these are those are the folks that have been driven by this crowd exhibitions in the new dispensations of the politics of Liberia. Let me just bring him on. I intend not to sanction him to make his voice heard into this process. Why? Who told you to wear that?
Papa, forgive us. We made mistake. Papa, forgive us. We made mistake. Just to let you know.
This is the original. I set you up. That one you still paying on it from came out. They just sent me a message. You still not completed paying that county. That malnourished county. This is the original one here. But Lebra, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mr.
We're going to have a conversation here, and we intend to engage the audience. Anybody who wants to come on, just let us know. We're going to put the how you call it, and to say our man Louis in Liberia, Mac Down, you guys did an extraordinary job today in a heavy pool of rain. Louis, thank you so much for all what you do today. It was really, really amazing. And interesting that Liberians defy the conventional wisdom. Usually people runs from rain, right? But this time around, they were literally, I think one of my men said he forgot he could have carried his canoe, but he forgot. There was no way he could put it on the pickup because it was enough to get it on the how you call it the Anthony Tuckman student. Lebrot, good evening. Welcome to the show. And I want you to be honest with me here. You have taken a definitive position here. Be honest, not too much of politics. But I know it will be very difficult. I'm not running judgment, but I know who you are here. So this crowd exhibitions of politics, we even start here. You start drinking palm one.
What's your question, Mr. So
I'm so happy tonight.
I don't have the fortitude within me or kahuna to fight with anybody here tonight. But go ahead, ask your question.
So let me get your instant gratifications with this whole politics. I'm trying to take a different review, different look now. And I want someone to convince me here, because if you talk to Liberty parties in another, okay, ANC, CPP slash ANC, Unity Party, sedition, they say they're going to win it. But I yet to get the explanation to the figure to justify what they are saying here. But let me get your instant reaction as a strong supporter of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka.
So let me just make a few corrections here, because one of the followers is saying that this is how I'm supposed to say, our past, sorry, our man fool us. No, Mr. So I think the crowd politics in Liberia is something that is interesting. If you go by Armo Jeremiah Cohn, the senator from Nima County, Rescue 2, if you go by his assertion that CDC crowd have 50% of Unity people among them, that means CDC crowd was 150% sedition. So if you do that, if you do the math and have 50% of CDC crowd that day and add it onto Unity Party crowd today, then I think they have already won. But that is not the case.
Do you agree with them that they have already won?
Well, because according to him, according to this Rescue 2, he said amount sedition, whenever you see CDC crowd, he said they always have 50% Unity Party amount there. So if you subtract that Unity Party 50%, and that would leave whatever crowd, whatever it is, that will leave 50% for CDC. Now, if you add 50% to Unity Party owner crowd, that will be 150%, and that will make more than necessary to win the election. But that's not what I'm going to talk about, Mr. So.
Mr. So, I want you to use your own words here this evening. Don't mind those people that I don't think this is where you want to go.
What I don't want you to do, and before you and the liberals start falling apart very quickly here tonight, because I don't see the center right coming to help you. You are alone. So I think you would do better tonight to let me express myself. Like I said, I don't have the kahuna here right now to fight with anybody. So let's accept that. But Mr. So, no, on a very serious note, I think at this point, I truly believe, I could be wrong, but I truly believe that CDC is in trouble. So from all indications, that CDC is in trouble politically, and that if they are not careful, they might not win this election. Now,
How? Explain yourself.
I will. Mr. So, we've been watching, especially me. I have a huge stakes in the, and that's just not me. Many Liberians have a huge stakes in the success of the country, and so many of us that consider ourselves political junkie has been following this election process since 2005, when my first process was when Councillor Bronsky went to Liberia, standing on a jeep with the crowd while Charles Siro was still in Monrovia. That was the first time that I started seriously taking the Liberian politics into consideration, thinking something positive was going to happen. Now, those of us that follow the process, President Weah have always enjoyed the love of Liberians for him. Many Liberians, young and old, have President Weah dearly at their heart. They believe and they love him. There's no question asked. So for me, since 2005 until he won the election, he's always been cheated. I'm not going to draw back on anybody.
Where are you getting those information?
Don't worry about where I get it. Why I
No,
think, why I believe,
hold on. I'm going to hold you. Hold on right there. I'm going to hold you here.
But you can hold me any way you want to hold me.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is not a courthouse that I'm on some sort of a oath that I have must answer truthfully. No, I don't have to. I am here to tell you how I feel and what is on my mind. You're not going to put me in a court on a witness stand and raise my hand. Please, those days are over. What? Remember now, we're not in Liberia. If you see, this is what I say. You're just coming from Liberia, so the mindset, your mindset is not quite here with us yet, and so you want to trick me like some sort of a hooky boo, whatever it is you want to call it, and that's not going to fly with this liberal. You're not going to tell me how to answer your question, Mr. So. Please, this is America. You're not in Liberia anymore. Let me go over my question, please, if you don't mind. So, the point here that I'm trying to make is that President Weah have always been cheated since 2005 up to the time he won the election. I believe that. That's my opinion. I mean, entitled to it.
All right.
Now, when he won the election, many Liberians, including me, who had fought so hard for Councillor Bronsky to be elected. I didn't want President Weah to be elected. But once he was elected, I accepted and I followed. And you know very well, I have my show here that I usually promote some of the good idea coming from the CDC. But when the president came up and said that everybody that want to be in this government must come in clean-handed, they must have their access declaration. We all gravitate towards that. What did the president do? He declared, but he said he's not going to tell anybody.
So let me just call you to a point here. In as much you want to say, this program is meant to put this program tonight, and I'm in charge. It's not an intimidation, but you guys deceit, making reckless statement like you just said, Jenna, the president has been cheated. You sit on the platform, you operate, the microphone is in your command, and you say he has been cheated without you providing any empirical evidence to suggest, to point out to something, or to point out, to quote a source. Are you saying it? That's not what I'm going to go. I would intend not to jump into a fight with you tonight because you started here. What I want to put to a rest tonight, from you and all the other political pundits, other network who are not discussing, who are not giving a clear picture of the pathway to the presidency. That's what I want to focus on here tonight. The time of this person doing this, I feel that time has passed because you people lose sight. The time to make those arguments is over. So let me just ask you this question here. If you want to defy it, that is okay. I am concerned with the perceptions or the mindset of most voters, electorates, and even the politicians themselves. Oh, we put out the crowd so that's it. But before that, let me just acknowledge somebody here special because I started following them. And she is one of our regular follow-ups. Madam Mami Esther Tape Mo. She get a page. It is quite interesting. I'm wondering how they did that. I would say congratulations to that page. Hopefully, you're going to find a time why you decided to do that. I mean, you know how to get those stuff I design. But thank you so much. Congratulations. But here is it, the liberal. I am wondering why the politics, Liberia is like what popular, is not like an electoral college. And people just say, oh, I think ANC coming on the what, 20 ANC or CPP on the 27, right? So this crowd competition, without us looking at specific, without us looking at the numbers, there are pieces lacking into this discourse, which some of you as commentators supporting these political parties do not explain. And I intend to expose that because it's part of our job here to create that awareness so we can create a wrong mindset, wrong information to these people, and they'll just go to bed and say, oh, we're going to win because we saw people going. So I hope that is honest too, and you got that right. If you have any reservations, I will bring in the details as we go on into the conversations. So let me give you the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. So. Thank you very much, Mr. So. If you don't want to accept my opinion, go sue me. That's what I say. But let me just say this yet. Let me just tell you this. As far as I'm concerned, President Weah, since 2005 up to the time he won the election, has always been cheated. I don't have to prove anything to you. What I say, what I believe. Yep, you don't have to take my word for it. But this time around, I'm not into this crowd here and crowd. How many people in Liberia so much that you're gonna pack stadium and then you think you're gonna win most of our county? No, I don't believe in our crowd stuff. It's just something to give themselves a boost. But let me just say this on a very serious note. What has happened here with this crowd business, the politicians themselves have to be very careful. Because if they start spreading the word, because they think they have more crowd than the other person, therefore, they have already won the election.
Let me bring in Amos Joy. Are you one of those fanatic of this crowd thing? Is it driving you? Is that something that's really bothering you? Is that something? Do you see that logical?
The crowd don't move me a bit. I'm just getting ready now to tell you the real story behind this crowd issue as far as I'm concerned. What is concerning to me? Okay? Now, if the politicians themselves, the leaders, start going around with their crowd and think, okay, we're finishing winning the election. And then the election comes around and they don't win. They have already laid the groundwork to their supporters, the fanatic. And if they don't win, how do they go back to explain to the fanatic? How do you explain to them after making all of these reckless statements that because of the crowd you have won the election? And in fact, the election has
all of us are involved. We've been deep into this whole crowd. Amos George, good evening, welcome.
So the point here, Mr. So, the point here is this. We ourselves have to be very careful with the crowd issue. Let's give our brothers and sisters in Liberia the opportunity to exercise their rights, to exercise their franchise so they can select whoever they want. And whatever the decision is, if it's fair, free, and fair, we must accept it. But if we have these political leaders themselves giving us this kind of Donald Trump tabata here, then it's unacceptable. Because if you lay out these Donald Trump tabata that if we got crowd, so we're winning now, and then when you win, what happened? Then you will say somebody cheat you? In total town, they will cheat you. In total town, they will cheat you. Other than that, please excuse yourself and let whoever going to win lead the Liberian people to whatever position we're going to go find ourselves in. Mr. So, the crowd business does that. It doesn't even move me a bit.
So
one other last thing I want to say about the crowd business. Liberians that are listening to me, you push the lawmakers, how dense they are, how inept they are, that they will make law to have an election during reading season for Christ's sake. Why can't they make it in dry season? Because they're afraid that if they do it in rainy season, some people will stay home. How can you govern like that? With lies. These people must be brought to the table and asked to change this law so the election process can happen in the summertime. If they're raining, they themselves can't go places to campaign. But then they said they're
I
leading.
feel bad for you. You are in the process of eating crow already. Let me bring in Amos George. Legendary Amos George is a strong supporter of the opposition's Alternative National Congress, or CPP. Now, Amos George, good evening. Welcome. We, including myself, I don't think we have been doing a good job in terms of getting the information out because of the polarized society that we have, including you. You defend your party here, which is okay. The liberal on the other end, you have Sisi, you have Terry, and I hope all of them are going to come up. But today, for some reason, I decided to go beyond the borderline. Like, wait a minute, where are we heading? Are we doing our job as facilitators, angles, and presenters on these various networks? And we align these politicians, they are surrogates, they are talking heads, and oh, look at this cry here. It's already done. I have discovered, and I'm going to be presenting an argument shortly, but let me just get your instant reactions. You are at liberty to plead the fifth if you want to. Are you one of the crowd persons, and what is your instant gratification of what you saw happening today? So depending on who you talk to, most of the people say the deal is already done, but I have a different version of it.
Mr. So let me say this well, and let me go to the liberal. He pounding something that is not factual. And you don't come on a network and say something that has the potential to undermine the country and you say it is your view. You're entitled to know. George Weah was never cheated. You have no shred of piece of evidence to show that.
You don't listen.
These things are not good for us to be seen there when we can't prove it. You got fanatic all over the places. 2005, George Weah 2005, George Weah participated in the election. He went there. He went for runner to beat him. 11, he did not. He took part, but the second round he refused to participate. So how can you say that all the elections he was cheated?
I don't know why he getting this sort of conspiracy, that kind of information.
It's not
more than
about
Donald Trump.
It's not about all that view. I mean, no. If something to is sitting down somewhere drinking a beer, if he can drink it, I know he can do whatever he's talking anything to, he'll crowd about fine. But when you count the public space and you continue to make the kind of statement, don't find excuse that it is my right or it is my view. No, we have to question you. Where is the evidence to show that George Weah was cheated 2 times? You can't produce no piece of evidence. But let me stop there. Mr. So, this crowd thing, I don't talk about it again. Because Liberia, they see people that go to ANC rally, they see people go to CDC, see people go to Joseph Boakai, Congo. So I really don't know. I cannot sit down here and say, oh yes, with this crowd, I know this person will win the election, especially in Liberia. That the way Farha asked him, he will tell you his own story. So what happened today? Yes, I know people are angry, people turn up. But will this translate into vote? And even another thing we were talking the other day. What is the takeaway today, Mr. Su? Can you tell me what is the message? Something told said the other day that, hey, Honorable Baga, maybe the day before you should release a press statement. So, because on Sunday, the noise will be too much, he may not be able to speak and nobody will hear anything. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he spoke today and what you can tell me. So I think today was just one of those days the people rallied up to show up to gender the support for the partisans. This is what happened today, but I have not heard the message. Maybe, I don't know when he spoke. I want to hear if I can hear the content of that message.
Okay.
So these are the things I'm talking about. So the crowd thing, I'm not into no crowd business. And secondly, I have never stood on the platform anywhere to say, oh, we're going to win the election
first round. And let me say this also. Every competition, people going, everybody have the expectation that they will win. Liberia, election, whatever, every competition, people are going to go in with the expectation to win. So you cannot be in a competition and say, oh, I will not win. No. Because if you say that, I mean, there's no need you being there. You have defeated your purpose already. So when everybody says they will win, the only thing that happened with is that, like the United Party and CDC, one round. And in our most recent election, that had not been proven. Moreover, there are more parties now in the process. Second, the people who were in opposition for 12 years, 15 years, they are not a ruling party. They have record. They have serious record to defend. So how can they say, "Oh, one round"? When you see the country, you talk to the people. You see the people are angry. People are telling you, "Hey, we're tired." So how can you win this one round? Joseph, the Unity Party has a baggage also. How can they say they will win one round? So when you talk about winning one round that way, I got a problem. But for people saying, "Oh, we'll win the election," that's a normal thing. I'm saying the ANC will win. But if I come and say the ANC will win first round, then I'm not being honest. And the two parties, they are not honest. They are talking this. What happens if they loses? Then the supporters say like Donald Trump, or the story election, the rigged.
But this we have one here already.
You see,
something
so it's not
Donald
good.
Trump told.
It's not good. And that's why I see Mr. Comey is say going to people, talking to people. Because there's no way someone will say, "Oh, one round, no." But in order to win, you got to continue to talk to people to convince them. And that's why Mr. Comey is
so let me get a Liberal the opportunity to respond so he can fuse that out. We try to sort of forming a conspiracy against him or try to gain against him. So I think he texting his body, then his military to come on. And after the Liberal, then I will present my argument where this whole crowd thing and the inability to visit their surrogates and even the politicians to be honest with the Liberian people without presenting something actual or tangible. We're going to get into that. The Liberal, let me just bring you in. Any crucifixion on our part?
Yeah, back into when you two of y'all were doing your tabata, you didn't hear me say anything to you, Mr. Josh. I said nothing. Did I? So I'm ready to speak. I deserve and I demand complete silence. Thank you. In 2009, the losing candidate in the last month, second round, this is from VOA. Second round presidential vote in Liberia, George Weah say he is dropping his liquor challenge to the victory of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Mr. Weah said he is doing so to allow peace in his war-torn nation. And I'll just move on. I'm not gonna bore you with all of the detail. His supporters was saying that because his supporter was saying because he was inexperienced, that he has been cheated. And they went by the statistic. They named few counties that President Weah was leading at the time. And because of that, the leading from those counties, and they said they add them, and this is coming from VOA 2009. And when they added up, I'm speaking, the Liberals on the floor. And when they added up, they figure, and that statistic show that he should have won. And with according to VOA, the pressure was not just coming from Liberia. The pressure for President Weah to drop the case was coming from outside of Liberia. So there are evidence to show. Okay? Not only that, 2012, after the 2011 saga, President Weah was, according to VOA again, he was invited in Nigeria, where according to VOA sources, the big shots in Nigeria told him, according to what I'm reading here, told him that as young as he is, he has a brighter future ahead. Even though the statistic, according to VOA sources now, even though the statistic that President Weah was quoting, and even they have a picture where you were holding on the ballots, extra ballots that were printed, according to them, that even though the Nigerian big wigs, they said, the big wig, according to the sources, they accepted what President Weah was saying, but that as young as he is, he has a brighter future. And there's no need for Liberia to be drawn back. And that's why when he came back to Monrovia, he decided to drop that. Look, when we come on this platform, the liberal is talking. When two of you are talking, you're tabata, I don't say nothing. You can't say because you run the show, you want to kick me out, kick me out. That's your job. Anyway, that's what you do. I told the audience that as soon as the central right show up, your tone and your attitude towards the liberal are going to be changing. So there's nothing, I'm not surprised. I expect to be kicked out of your show here tonight. So, but let me make my point. The point here is this: when we come on this platform, we have things. When we open our mouth, we got things to back it up. We're not just here blah mouthing ourselves.
So, okay, you done?
Go ahead. I yield.
Oh, you malice now? You in court or you? Okay, I will try as much as possible to contain this conversation because you pull in here and there. I'm not buying into that.
I didn't have no. You got both of you said I got no evidence.
Yeah, but what are you saying? You don't have evidence. VOA is a second.
Now VOA that lie stuff now.
No, I'm just telling you, VOA is just only reporting based on the information. I'm not going to waste my time on it. But here we are. I am saying I am here to disabuse.
Let's go to the crowd issue.
Some of you commentators, your supporters, your political leaders, and that sort of political perceptions in the mind. Oh, people turn out, then we win. We are not just doing just. Since 1985, I don't know which. Let me just ask you here. If you want to make your disclosure, that's fine. I want us to really have an honest conversation because Liberia is at a crossroad. Which party do you associate registered party? If you wish to tell me, fine. You want to plead the fifth? That's okay.
If I were to be in Liberia to be fully registered, we're going to be Liberty Party.
I guess of
the Senator Nyamlikanga Liberty Party.
Okay.
But I mean,
so
like,
I'm
in the USA. Here. I am member of U.S. Liberty Party USA. I've not been kicked out yet.
Okay. Let me ask this question. Is there any political party, including yourself, even in the present? The last time I remember was 1985 with NDP and all of that. All of these parties, do they have registered voters?
Liberia have registered voters. I'm not too sure.
I don't say Liberia. I say the political parties.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that because I'm not in Liberia.
You're not in Liberia, but you support your party. You're associating with a party. You pay, I assume. So you're not even paying due. You're just running from one party to one party.
When it comes to money business, we'll carry a party. That one I got party.
Okay, so let me come to Mr. George.
Seriously, Mr. So before you go, I don't want to just leave it like that, please. The idea of political party having a registered members of the party, that's a different issue. A registered member, as far as I'm concerned, a registered member of a party does not necessarily mean that person is a card-carrying member to vote in a Liberia election. I am member of Liberty Party USA. I have my registration. I have my cards here, but I do not have the card. I don't have the card to register and vote in Liberia. So I'm sure I'm not alone.
That's a valid point, but there's a little parcel to that, and there's a reason I'm going into this direction to put to rest this sort of conspiracy, and I'm going to add that piece there. But let me bring Amos George into this fray. Mr. George,
yeah.
As far as you are concerned, I don't know which party you associated with in the past. If you want to talk about that, that's okay. But now you are a strong supporter of ANC, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know whether ANC have registered members? Because you can be registered and eventually become a registered voter. This is how this country had to go after voters. That I don't know any party. And if they do, I'm willing to see where they have that sort of number. I'm going somewhere. I just want us to have a honest
let me say this, Mr. So. I know people go to political party to register, but I don't know whether they have a documentation that they can say, hey, we have 3,000 registered voters or 4,000, 6,000, 10,000. I do not know.
Okay.
So
So then how the hell these people, they tend to have this group of people, anybody can pass anywhere to go anywhere. But this is where I'm coming to now.
But Mr.
Because
So, in this country,
yeah,
when you go to, I had not signed any document as a Democrat, but I know I vote Democrat. So I know that. I had not gone to register to any party that, hey, this is no, but I vote.
yeah, but they track that. Like today, I'm still receiving messages because
I
they
get messages every
use that
time.
to track. They use that to track that. I'm saying that because what I'm not sure because let's have this here, and I want to disabuse this here. Let's look at this here. The pathway to the presidency 2023. These, I would say, the torso or swing states or county we're talking about: Mosorado, 891,000, Nima 308, Bon County 237, Mount Gibby County 184, Lofa County 177,000 plus, and Grand Bassa County 157. So we come down here to these other states: Grand Judea 64,000, 0 plus, Sano 56,000, River G 37,000, River Maryland 69, Grand Crew 42, and all of that. The country is in trouble. This whole thing here, where screw up, is from this whole sense of where these political leaders, some of them, they hide their parties unknownly to them, but when they realize that it was late, and this is where the election commission, this is where some of them are going to be in trouble. And I know we had this conversation here. The Census Bureau tells us the entire population, whether young or of foreign national, blah, 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 that lived in the country was what, 5 million plus people. Registration came. Guess what? 2 million people registered as a registered voters. So, which means in itself falls below the belt. We have almost 3 point some more millions. And let's say we take one other million there, maybe we say those people, they are foreigners, they are babies, we still fall below the belt. So for anybody to come out to say these people here, and trust me, since the registration up to this time, some of those people that registered, that's a reality. Some of them have died, some of them in hospital, some of them left the country. Some of them, there are other people who will say, you know what, because of these politicians and something told them way of talking, I'm not even going to vote. I mean, that's the fact. So for somebody to come out and show, and people show that sort of exhibit of a crowd, be it the CDC, be it the Unity Party, be it the CPP, to draw a conclusion, I'm wondering how do they identify that? Now, this is very critical. How many political parties we have? Here. So technically on this number here, this is where the trouble going to be coming from. These counties here. And I wouldn't know the past history, some of the past history of the people of Mosorado. You have about 891,000. So in order technically to win, how many of these people that even put up a crowd to say they have what, 400,000? None. None of these political parties, be it the CDC, the ANC, none. And let's look at by visuals. Let's look at some of those that are going to those places. And I surmise bulk of those people, you agree with me, they didn't register because there was a message came from some of their political leaders. They misinterpreted the concept of a census of a country, which tells us the population, the strangers, the babies, and all of those people. And they see that, oh, the people want to cheat, the people want to flip stuff, blah, 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 blah. And some other people were discouraged their people because by then throwing out, oh, this is what's going to happen, it makes people to back off that they didn't even go to register. And my guess, be a CDC rally, be a United Party rally, be it the CPP ANC rally, chunk of those same people who did not register are now showing up as just ordinary support to this something. And I know deeply they are regretting within why they did not work within the time frame allotted to register. They're not nobody, NEC not going to register. And you remember when they were asking for the extension? So for people to just put everything up, lump it up, and put it in the basket, oh, because I have these float, 500 float going, and these number of people are there. Yeah. So we got to count, we got to look at these numbers these are the numbers that we are working with now. These are the numbers that we are working with now. Now, who can, Maserati, which is a sort of volatile area now, let's be honest, who can really pull up to 400,000 or 500,000 votes? That at least the 800 something you need to get at least above 400 some more thousand to get to the finishing line. You have the president is there, whether he suffers defeat from Ibrahim Darros DeLont and the CDC. You have Alexander Benedict Cummings is there. You have Ambassador Joseph Boyka is there. You have Tiawan Gonglo.
What's his name? Your next president, you say, what's his name?
Monoba.
And all the other folks.
You got Freeman.
I'm not talking to appease your political desire. I want us to just be honest here.
But this
mindset, when these surrogates sit down and they see crowd without them taking into conclusion out of those people that are registered, and this thing, that number is stagnant, that the same number of people going to vote.
Mr. So, with your parliament chief gone, I'm not too sure where you're going with this thing here. But you're being too critical in this thing. But that's what you do anyhow. That's what make you.
What you mean being too critical,
Mr. Central Right? You're not here to help the far right, please. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm here as a counterweight to both of you. So you guys are not gonna be tag teaming here. When I'm talking, we're gonna have to let the liberals speak a little bit. Let me just say this here, Mr. So, with all your critical thinking on this here, where have you put this number here, number there? Let's remember this one thing for sure: we don't have a good standing polling system in Liberia. So by their going to the football field to show crowd and things like that, in a sense, it's the way of showing polling. Now,
what?
Let me. That's my thinking. I'm entitled to it. Please, that's my opinion. Now, the point here is this: with all your critical thinking on this, they're bringing the number here, which are genuine numbers. Compare what your thing. If these are genuine numbers, why are the people saying the person will win when they have not even touched these numbers? Fair game. But this is what I'm going to say to you. I also don't believe in the crowd business. And I say here from the beginning, I stated already that the political leaders themselves have to be very careful how the crowd business is utilized in their political explanation or in their political engagement. Now, Mr. So, it doesn't matter who packed the stadium. When the numbers are counted, when the voting are done and the numbers are counted, those are the numbers that people would want to take to the bank. The crowd number
they are not telling their voters. They are not telling people what we are saying.
Just throw you. Why you want to? I don't gotta concentrate on this number game when we're telling you.
No, because what happened, the reason I'm concentrating, it is our job. And I know because of your political attachment, you will do everything possibly you can to defend your own alligator.
I will hope the political leaders themselves will try to leave this crowd business and let them concentrate on what
you as a person who sits behind the microphone, it is your responsibility to educate, because you are not doing that. You buy into their rare meat, you buy into their soundbite, and so
even as much as I'm telling you that I want these people to stop there, you're still gonna wrap it around my neck, and then the next thing I'm gonna say, go sue me, and that's it. Simple as that. Okay. I can't help you and the far right the way you guys think, because I'm the liberal and you're conservative here tonight. It's not gonna hold no water. I've already told you that I will hope that the political leaders themselves will try to stop this selling of this crowd. I got more crowd, therefore we're gonna win. Because when you start setting that premise already, when the election has, people have not even cast one vote yet, and you're going to come out as a political leader or surrogate, and you're going to make that kind of statement, you are setting the country up for failure. Worse, you are setting the country up for conflict. Because now when you make those statements, I told you already, when you make those statements and people follow you, and those statements turn out not to be true, then how do you explain to your followers who believe in you, and the fact that you make that statement, they think they need and must win. Other than that, they believe that they're being cheated. How do you resolve that? And this is what I'm saying to you, that I hope that the surrogate, including the political leaders themselves, would desist from those kinds of political campaign, because they have nothing good for us except trouble. Now, whether you and the central right believe what I'm saying, and I can't help you with that. Those are your own thinking. You're entitled to it. I can't force you to accept what I'm saying. So if we cannot move on to another subject matter, you're running your show, we're going to lead it up to that. That's fine with me.
Before I go to Mr. George here, I want us to have a consensus here. Usually we don't agree. So do you agree with me? Even though you're saying it's critical, but I am saying it's part of our job to educate, to inform, and we do less entertainment, because the entertainment out there is just over the bar. So there's no much, we don't have much time. Are you listening to me, or you try to find the reactions of
yeah, you really want to fight with the Liberator tonight? But like I said, I'm winning. I'm winning. My crowd is more than your crowd. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm in a winning position. I'm not going to fight with you.
So, okay, let's come to a consensus. Will you agree with me, moving forward, even on your program, will we create this education, even though these politicians, they have their own way of communicating because they want to energize their base, and you know that it does have a propensity, because they build these falsehood subliminal message in their head, and they send it out to their people, and they buy it to say, oh, so see the kind of people who put it down there. They not even take into consideration how many of them really can tell us that they have targeted 200,000 to 250,000 voters, committed voters. They can't. The reason you see this place here, people that crunch these numbers, they know where their voters are. They go after those voters. They do robocalls and do that. They even follow through with you. Hey, have you voted? Yes. Is your vote for me? Then they make those sort of guesses here. But Pa George,
yeah,
let me come to you. The Liberal is not willing to concede, because he still wants to drive this conspiracy type here with he more than Donald Trump on this network here. And you're telling us that we are critical. It's not a matter of being critical, because these are wake-up calls that we need to send out to our people, because these people, they're building false impression to them, to their supporters. As the result, tomorrow after the election, you'll see a group of people, you see what happens, so. We win it. And that's not the case. And that's what I want him to understand. But let me just bring that. It's a time now that these politicians, in as much, and even their supporters, to be honest with their people, when they do that, if they can do it, we have an obligation to do that. Because even the 2 million, it doesn't mean that's a number of people going to register. I mean, they're going to vote. No. Some people will be going to their farm to be doing a cassava thing. Some people will say, you know what, me, I got to be taking care of my children. But they will not be honest. They will just conclude, they will just put everything in that basket and say, oh, these are the number of people that will vote for me. And they can't tell us, they can't prove to us scientifically that, yes, we have 100,000 committed. Something told you can look at me any kind of way. I'm just saying the truth. We have to protect our democracy. And that's the argument. Let me bring in Pa George.
Look, let me say this. Let me repeat myself. Anybody can say they will win. I don't have a problem with that. But what I say I have a problem with, when people saying they're going to win first round straight up in Liberia. That's why I got a problem. Because the matter doesn't matter. And it's the CDC and the Unity Party that is one they have been singing it wrong. But South let me push back on you again. You can't have a both. You're the same person saying those two are dangerous, but you sit down and say, hey, 2 successive elections in Liberia, the cheated George we are. So now, if the one doesn't go away, when the supporters say, oh yeah, the 2 elections, they cheated, now you see the one they did again. What will you say? That's what we're saying. Do not say it.
Okay. Man, put your mouth on that.
The VOA you're talking about, VOA did not present any evidence to say based on our investigation, George Weah won the election. These are evidence. The last election in Nigeria, BBC reported that Peter Obi was cheated, and they produced document, evidence to show what made them to call that he was cheated. BBC did it. VOA was underquoting a source. So you can't rely on that to say it was factual. No, you can't do that. All VOA was saying, according to this person, they didn't say based on our investigation he won. And they would have said, and then they will present something to the public. But they were quoting a source. So you can't take that as their, oh, same VOA said that it was true. No. VOA did not present any evidence. They were quoting a source. So that, I'm telling you, you can't have it both ways. And that's why I told you earlier, you can't continue to say this and then come back and say, oh, we'll caution the people. But if you want to caution these people, but you are just singing the song again. Suppose the people say, oh yeah, even the mayor LPR, they said the cheated George Weah 2 years ago, so that the thing that they had done again. What will you say? And the issue, this crowd, and I was saying, Mr. So I don't even want to discuss it again because we don't have any statistics to show that all these people were a member of the Labor Department or are a member of CPP or CDC. There's something to it. You said something. Let me go back. You said this, the crowd that will show the statistics. How can that crowd show the statistics? Who they talk to in that crowd?
So wait a minute, engineer, we'll pull on here. Let me make Heleno auto Heleno. Let you put his foot in his throat here. Engineer, you can just look at the road and just say, "Oh, this is how I'm going to do it." Without you doing the soil testing.
Tell me that all there are legitimate photo of the Unity Party. What is the yardstick you using? That's the crowd that we use as a statistic. What yardstick are you using? What method are you using? So we can't go down the path here. We cannot go down the path. That's why I say my political leader is in the trenches talking to people. Because the crowd that come out there,
who your political leaders, for those who don't know.
People go out there for different reasons.
You're not quite.
Some people are stressed. All the right, the CDC or the ANC or the Congo, all the political people around it. Sometimes people are stressed. Man, so let's just go out there, let's go have fun. Let's go dance some music. Maybe they'll get someone father. That's how some people turn up. Are they down? Are they supporters among them? Yes. But that total crowd will say, all these people, they turn up because they're supporting the person. No, so many people turn up for different reasons. And there is an anger in the country. We all get that now. There's an anger in the country. But political leaders, we have to be careful. And you have to work. It's not because the people are angry, you just sit and say, oh, everything will go my way. No. That's why Mr. Cummings is in the trenches talking to people. For other people, they prefer the crowd just kind of go and sit down there and say, yo, hello, we'll change this country. That's it. But for Mr. Cummings,
look, let me say this here to both of you. Our past, sorry, our mouth fool us. Look, you know, you guys, you two somehow, but I don't know what are you guys are undercover sedition. I'm not too sure, but because the reason I'm saying this is when CDC had their crowd issue here the last time, Mr. So, you didn't make the crowd business into a show. No, now, Uncle Joe, and Mr. So, the Libra is on. When both of you were doing a tag team on me here, I didn't say anything. I was just quiet. And you guys were steamrolling me. I didn't say anything because I knew I was going to have my time. Please let me have my day, my sunshine, please. When Uncle Joe now Uncle Joe showed himself to show that he is truly the man of rescue mission. Show that the Liberian peoples are on the side of Uncle Joe and they agree with Uncle Joe to rescue them. Now you're gonna come in and make the crowd issue a whole 2-3 hour show. The Central Right, please.
Something to the stadium take 10,000 people, maximum 15,000.
You see, this is why you guys
CDC did the same thing.
Mr. Central Right, this is the liberal. Remember, you guys are not going to push me around. You cannot bamboozle me into accepting your conservative view. That's not going to happen. You know that. So let me make my point. Mr. So, the last time you didn't make CDC when they had their stuff, you didn't make it into any kinds of a show. Now, Uncle Joe showed himself to be the true rescue president who has come to rescue us. And the Liberian people are saying, Uncle Joe, thank you. We're coming. We will help you to rescue us. Now you're gonna make a show out of it. The rescue, the people come in, how they know who gonna vote. Now you're gonna show all the statistic and all that kind of stuff. The number, the register voter. Now you're gonna be critical on everything else. That's fine. Take your critical stuff. We taking our voter. You and Mr. Central Ryan ANC, you go with your critical thinking. We coming with our voter, and we will beat CDC like a Manigo drum. We will beat CDC like a Manigo drum. What you guys need to do now, ANC, knowing full well you're going nowhere, what you need to do now is to settle down. Say, okay, what is the next step for us? We're going to Uncle Joe. You come to us. The room is dead. The house is big. We accept all of you guys. We have to remove President Williams.
You just have to take Prince Johnson, Eugene Falcon, General Bob Nickey. Those are people and Ellis Tyler. Just accept them. You'll move on. The ANC is in it to contest. Only the voter will determine that who's going to win this election. And it is what Mr. Comey continues to approach the people. For you, Paul, United Party, it's a done deal now. That's why you're not going to community. You fill your stadium, you call the Omekan, you say hello, they say okay for you. Go home. That is why it's different from us. We are engaging the community to talk to the people. Because election is just like a football game. It is not over until that last whistle. So if you think, or you think you got it in the bed, lock up, perfect. The only thing I can tell you, there will be surprises in this election. And some people will be heartbroken. But that will be the reality.
So, Mr. Toll, it's unfortunate for you to say that because it's complete mere politics. You are looking at a minute aspect of what you think politically going to be rewarded. I am taking a holistic approach. I'm trying to avoid crisis because we're not even good at managing crisis. So I don't even want that. If you want to put your number there too, that's fine. But the number is there, folks. If you want to call to participate,
and so the stadium take 10,000 person. So if we max it up, let's say 15,000. 15,000 today you got. And let me make it 25,000. And what is the total number of voters in Maserado? So you put your crown today. I will give it to you. You put your crown up. That's what you want to hear. So that's your put your crown. But the thing here is you will make sure that the people go to the pool. That is what important.
Yeah, and I think he's turning to something. And what we try to do here is to create a really open awareness. This sort of a way of people just concluding the case without even going into the case is wrong. And that's is a danger to our democracy. Because, and that this is to show that all of a party, the lack of the political tolerance, the lack of it, and there's no strategy. They don't have really good winning strategy. They're forcing among one another. Let me go to this caller here. So we got it. Okay, caller 904 number. Good evening. So what's the name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jebo. I'm calling from the state of Florida, precisely Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Good evening. How are you today? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, senior brother, and I like the way you conducting the show. And putting all educative information that would not bring crisis tomorrow in Liberia, because Liberia is for everybody,
Right.
regardless who win. Peace, love, and stability can bring economic growth to any country. Because I believe that every country there will be hardship, or in that hardship, people can strive
Right.
to better their life or not peace.
Mm.
Yeah. I like the point you push concerning the registered voters. Yes, it's true that they crowd politics. But how can you convince your registered partisan for your party
Right.
to turn up on that day to go and cast their ballot for you? Because our country is so fragile, and sometimes because for me, I don't know who is fooling who. I don't know the
Everybody voting one.
citizen fooling a politician, and a politician to deceiving them. So you can't just draw because people don't want to be honest or objective to say, okay, I
Right.
stay for the person and I will not go nowhere and only the person. But it's just confusing. But I like the numbers you gave, the most rather the registered numbers and regular countries, and it will speak on that day for everybody. Thank you for your show and a great work job done.
Thank you
very
so
much.
Thank you so much. And that's what but again, because we are in a divided country, there are some who are doing it as a profession. There are some who are propagandists. There are some who and the propaganda is a, like you saw yesterday, there was some sort of letter that came out to say, oh, they cancel their rally. That's the work of a propaganda. That's the propaganda work, because you always wants to distract your opponent, and that's how it's supposed to be. If I are providing a council liberal, do I look at somebody that I want to? I know Liberian politics. If you are not in the front yard, you're not going to get anything. You think I'm going to be on beyond something and get stuff? That's not how it works. But technically, all of these people, the ANC, the Gonglo, if other people have right, they need to even send their people who can dress it and hear the message and see what kind of discussion going on. And you talk to them, but they don't do it. They're just making power with everybody. This is ridiculous. Let me bring in Tara here. Tara is here. Is a strong supporter of Ambassador Joseph Mamboikai. I'm not sure he's been following the program here. But Tara, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you smiling. What are you what are you hearing that we didn't know you need to tell us?
Well, nothing new. Even though I was not following you guys, I just saw the link. So I said, but then I got to hop on. I didn't know you were coming on tonight. But actually,
yeah, sorry, I got to get you in that group so that you get a group message at once. My apology.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited because we did what I expected the Unity Party to have done. And that is kind of exciting because elections is by numbers. You need the numbers to be a contender or a formidable candidate in a race. Now, whether if the numbers is able to make us win, that's a different ball game right there.
Okay.
Whether if the numbers is able to turn into votes, that is something else we got to look at. But looking at the people that turn out today, you can see the faces of the people. You can see the reaction. They all show transparency. They show that they are organic. They came out with natural love and affection. All right, and that is overwhelming for me. I think that was that. I think that was what we expected.
Right. You're a genuine guy. You're not like this liberal who is politically driven into his argument, which is because up to last night I was up and I saw images coming from Foya. I saw my own grandeur that people, okay, that does not necessarily suggest those people that were dancing, that will translate, but the idea of them showing out, that could be a persuasion to other people to say, oh, wait a minute, it looks like this is what's happening. But then we have to go back to that group. Okay, those people are there. Were there some bystanders who are just attracted to group of people doing things, and they can just jump in there? Are they, in fact, all of them, are they registered voters? All of that. Those are the things. But when I talk here, then something to say we're being critical. But I like your point. Let me go to this caller here. Let's hear from our people. 210 number. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello. I'm calling from San Antonio, Texas.
Texas. Is that Elena?
Yeah.
Somebody put in their foot in their throat here, they even bow away.
He put it out, he stick there, he make it para.
Ah. But when am I? Who making the power? Who you are making the power?
Okay. So, okay, let me talk to you. I know you support the CDC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you one of those that believe this sort of crowd people, one day people show up in a huge number, so it means we draw the conclusion that person going to win? Is that, are you one of those that believe in that?
Some kind of way, it depends the kind of crowd. Like today, what I saw, even though they always say that CDC truck people, but today what I saw when they brought this money, moreover, were almost empty. You understand? Later, they started trucking people from Bassa all over the place to bring them in moreover.
Amen. He said moreover, and ever.
And then they were who saw this money.
So it was from the beginning to the end. Sorry to.
I got a kid. I started to show this money. Yeah. It was empty from the beginning. Later, they started taking people, they started carrying them. They were taking video all over the place. But my problem is, it was just a program they had, fine. But to say that crowd that you took from Grand Bassa was made to win, then you laugh. That means they said CDC in trouble. CDC not in trouble. CDC is safe in Monserrat. That means the vote in Monserrat for CDC.
What make them safe?
Yeah, because that means people is Monserrato, they're going to vote for CDC. Because according to what we saw today, the people had to United Party. They had to bring people from all over to make the crowd plenty the thing they put in a plan. And we were happy because we saw the weakness.
So is that what CDC does that as well?
They said CDC do it, but I don't think CDC do it that the way they did it.
So what you say? They say you do it, but what you say?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Because even people, CDC have a already that take people from their own district in Morovia. You understand? But when so they were clean, they were tracking people.
No, but
in Lupa, I'm gonna say in Lupa, in Bassa. They're taking that photo to post it on social media. They're tracking the same people to bring it into Morovia.
But is it true? You know, because all of us gotta be responsible. So you know,
if you follow that this morning, it was true.
From last night, I didn't even sleep up to now. But what I'm asking you, is it true that Unity Partisan they were assembling from different districts to meet? Is that why you're saying that they were?
Yeah,
or you saw the float?
From different places like Bassa, Grand Kema, around Morovia. I don't have issue with that. But don't say that people you want to be doing that vote in Bassa.
So do you think some sedition show out there too to just see what was happening with their other people? You don't think some sedition show out just to know what?
The one out there, even though we stopped them from going out there because we wanted to know United Party strength in Morovia. That party wanted to know the real strength where they had in Morovia. We stopped some of the sedition to not go out there, but some of them were high, they're children the one out there. You understand? So because we wanted to know that strength, and we saw that strength. So we have it because we know we don't have strength in Monserrat. Not they don't election we have it. We're talking about John we are at. So not that election, so that's what they're doing. Oh, we're in trouble. And they ain't big trouble. And they ain't big trouble. So Uncle, you stop here for your mom because you're not getting hope in Monserrat, so you're stopping.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say about the crowd.
All right.
Thank you for your show.
Thank you so much. Now, here we are. This counter accusation, and depending on who you talk to, everybody have their own interpretation. I don't have no evidence that anybody was brought in from anywhere. What we do know, we saw people assembling from other places. My argument, not necessarily everybody that turned out there could be, they could or they could not, or some of them are registered voter, they're not. That's my concern. But the idea of their leaders say, oh, because we show these people, so we are going. So why you are even telling your people to literally, your supporters, to stay away because you already have you have the numbers in your favor. Remember that, Terry? Pa George, I'm going to be coming to you. When this whole censor thing started, and we talked about it, you were calling in. They created a scenario that all people it was a cheat. This was going to do this, and they make some of their people not even register, for which they were appealing to a National Election Commission for the extension, and National Election Commission said no. Instead of then, when they're talking about, even in their great United States, not every citizen votes. You have the right to stay out of the process if you don't register. You have to be a registered voter. And that's why this is where they fell below the belt. When that thing was organized, they should have mobilized door to door, spot their supporters, their hardcore supporters, and those who don't even still sit in the air, find a way to go after them. But you have men like Samson too, who sit here, who will not want to be honest and say whatever thing because he wants it to be in your favor. Oh, the people are going to do the tanking. Can you imagine? This is less than 60%. When we're talking about 5 million plus people, and let's say we put million aside as foreigner or babies, we have 4 million, and you have 2 point some more million people in the country to vote. That's troubling. Now here you have 3 point some more people that stays out of the process. That's concerning. Right. He is not concerned about that. He is not. But George.
Yeah, look, let me see. You know about Mr. So, the United Party and CDC, they're the one not come out with all these.
I don't know what's wrong with the ANC and the people. Why,
no, listen. They said that, listen, this crowd business. United Party and CDC start singing this one, they say ANC ain't got a crowd.
Do you agree with that?
They say, oh,
you agree with that?
They say they truck the people there. When they want to Bonga, oh, they truck the people there. When they want to begin, they truck the people there. Comey just had a launching in Nigeria, sorry. They said no. They truck the people. But the question I continue to talk is, trucking, bringing people to a rally, it should not be our issue. If someone doesn't agree, they will not come to the rally. In political party, when they have any program, they will transport the people from different areas. Even in America, they do it. Why this thing should be our issue to be discussing?
They always bring nearby, people
to
nearby.
Everywhere they do it. That should not be an issue to be discussing. But they are the one who came out and oh, they truck the people here. They truck the people here. For me, that's not an issue. What I'm sad about is that our political leaders are not discussing the substantial issue of the day. They are not going in depth. And the people who are in the country, they're not helping the process. Because they're the ones who are supposed to hold these people to account to explain to them how they're going to achieve this program. But it's not being done. So we can sit there and talk. Yeah, we're talking about the people who are on the ground, who are supposed to make the decision, they are not holding these people. So these are some of the issues small are talking about. Why the people in the country, the voters, are not asking these people these tough questions when they go to the town hall meetings. I know Mr. Comey go to town hall. I mean, yeah, he go to town hall meeting, he go to marketplace, he talk to people. But you know the party, Honorable Barker just sit down. He ain't got nowhere to go. He said the thing they pour for him. It lack up for them. But I expect us to leave this kind of cheap propaganda or the truck people. That's for me, it's not my place. Today, people show up. The question is, without translating the vote, that was more.
Don't worry about it.
Thinking about it. But with Samson told them, no, it's like all right for them. So, but these are the issues some of all are talking about. Who all went out to do the perfect? What are the truck people, the broad people? That's not my concern.
Look, let me jump in here very quickly.
The Liberal will bring you in here, but quickly, please, 1 second. Terry says something here, was I yesterday during our conversation, and let me just ask here, because I talked to folks, and what I'm here, I don't know, there's no top insider has confirmed that, but most likely we are hearing CDC is having an extensive conversation behind the curtain with ANC. Mr. George, I know you're not an executive, and that anything you can confirm. Momentarily or at the end, whatever reason, of course, it has to go to the second phase. If that happens, what could be your will you still follow your political leader, or you will, even though you're not going?
So let me tell you, all right, I don't know about any discussion going on, but I can tell you, except maybe the CDC, we go second round, CDC said they will support us, but Mr. Comey had made it emphatically clear that
Like
he
you're
will
not
not,
support CDC?
he will not support, on the, I think on the show and other show, he has said it clear that he will not support CDC. Maybe if they're talking about that, hey, you're go second round, will support you, that's a different, I don't know about that conversation. But let me say something. Let me say something. Cyril Allen, you know Cyril Allen, he's one of the advisor council to the CDC. He said something the other day. He said the CDC had failed. He went on to all that they're asking. You see, healthcare, the economy, road, everything. But then he said, we can appeal to the voter to give her a chance. We can make it up in the next term. Then he said, the opposition is disorganized, so therefore the voter will ask the voter to give her a chance. Then I said, but wait now, how can you balance this statement? You've seen that you people have failed already, but you're asking that they will give you a second term. So CDC is in a big problem. You know, Cyril Allen speaks the mind. I mean, he laid out everything. He laid.
I even listen to where he says snow from bombing, but the liberal.
Yeah.
Let me just bring you in here. I try to wrap this thing around my head, and it's not working because I'm not still saying that soft political tone. This ANC party or CPP and this Unity Party, all of the opposition, there's something they have in common, that is to unseat the CDC, their government, because of different variety of reasons and all of that. If this is so, I don't know if that's something you believe. Don't you think it is time for for people to start softening their tone? How can they have that political reconciliation if for any reason there's a second round? Because the ANC and Unity Party, for some reason, ANC people attack Unity Party vice versa, attack ANC. You go to these networks, you listen to and some of those people who create this, they are their leaders. Where is the political tolerance to build that consensus when they are all in the opposition? Will that happen? That will be the cutting edge of this election. I'm saying it now, and I want us to take note of that. This political rift with the ANC and with these numbers that we show, there's no way, no one CDC can get more than 500,000 votes. If CDC get over 450,000 votes, or ANC, CPP, or Joseph Boyka from Maserado, it's done. Because definitely in those other places, there will be a real fight. Why are they not softened their tone with 20 what?
Because Mr. So many of these people that we support, I believe that many of them, and not all of them, but I said many of them, have Liberia below them. They put themselves before Liberia. Now, the issue with ANC, from my perspective, the issue with ANC and Unity Party, I put that squarely at the foot of Ambassador Bakai. I still say that. The Costa Tare here on ANC leader and Ambassador Bakai and his people fail to put that under control. Now, these political leaders, they are opposition leaders, but they have followers who not only admire them like I do with Ambassador Bakai. My only connection with Ambassador Bakai has to do with admiration. But there are some people that are truly, truly believe and connected in spirit to anything else to these political leaders. And if you insult these political leaders, including President Weah, that the people, some of the supporters take that personally. And what happened here with Cummings for months in end, they asked some ANC members, I don't care if Cummings go back to them and say, you don't go support Ambassador Bakai. They will not do it. They will not do it. And as far as ANC gravitating towards CDC, it's very simple, because I believe ANC is made out of a cloth of CDC. ANC, many of their members came from CDC anyhow. So the issue now is how many of those ANC members that were cross carpet for political alliances with the CDC, and how many of them that will come to a unity party? That is the question. Now there are some members of ANC, I believe, that will say, you know what, we'll put Liberia first, and those people need, if they do that, that's a different issue. But as if they don't come back, second round to support Ambassador Bakar, I put the blame squarely at the feet of Ambassador Bakar. I mean, Mr. So, you know, we're not stranger to what transpired in this election. From the time CPP broke apart, from the time they started by the document finger business up to this, but we know the entire stuff.
You were defending that document once upon a time.
So we're not stranger to it. So I think Ambassador Bakar, that's what I said yesterday. The issue with Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kwon and ANC and all of those people, I think Ambassador Bakar most likely, and I will hope that very shortly, he should make a statement to the nation and bring all of these issues under his control, to tell the Liberian people, trust me, we're all in this together. I am the political leader, but I trust you. And I hope if you elect me, that I will guide the process, and all of you will participate, and all of you will see exactly why I decided to come out of retirement and take this particular process on. Mr. So, if they don't do that, and if they just go because they're going to win anyhow, and they win the election, it's a time bomb. And not necessarily in terms of war, but political time bomb. Let's put it that way. Because you heard recently, the folks from Lofa County were questioning Prince Johnson to explain himself. And the people decided to play politics with it and put it under the carpet. It's not done yet. It's not done yet, because when the idea from Lofa County came out to ice Prince Johnson didn't reply. It died down. So most likely somebody, the inner circle of Ambassador Bakar, told the people to leave it alone, but they're not going to let it go. How are you going to have a vice president and your people are keeping one eye on the vice president? He would not be trusted unless Ambassador Bakar comes out and take on this elephant that is in the room. Other than that, their honeymoon is gonna be very, very short.
Okay, let me go to Elvis quickly, and I will come to Terry here. But interestingly, Tila Urit, she tweeted today. I'm going to read it. So something is still breathing on that. We don't know what going to be the outburst. Let me go to Terry. Not Terry. Elvis is standing by in Minnesota. Elvis, are you there? Good evening.
I'm here, Mr. Sir. I hope you guys are getting me well.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Thank you, and hello to the panelists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to say big congratulations to the United Party. I think they had a tremendous turnout.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We appreciate that, Evan. Thank you.
I'm just giving free advice. Don't waste all your money on, organizing political rallies, because you have a limited amount of money. You need it to go into the rework counties, to mobilize, to galvanize the people around you, to pay poor washers, to use that money for logistics, getting vehicles in and out of the different counties. Don't try to compete with CDC, because on the financial front, you guys can't compete with the CDC. Look, let me say this.
Yeah, we're
I've always been parallel to what happened in Nigeria. You guys are on the panel, I'm sure you're aware. During the time after Obasanjo left office, Olusegun Obasanjo, there was a guy called Umaru Musa Yaradua, who came from the northern part of the country in Nigeria. And this man was very sick. This guy had a terminal, he was terminally ill. And the big wigs from the PDP party knew this. But this guy was so soft-spoken and he was well loved, and people put him there. He was known as anti-corruption person. And they put him on the front of the PDP ticket, and they won the election. About a couple of years into his presidency, he got seriously sick. He was out of the country for like almost, I think, 4 or 5 months. And he died. They brought him back to Nigeria and he died. And the people from the northern part of the country felt robbed. They felt like it was their time to govern, and their leader was taken away from them, and they did not want to relinquish the power that was given to the quote-unquote the northern part of the country to rule. They had a constitutional crisis in Nigeria because Goodluck Jonathan they were refusing to swear in Goodluck Jonathan because they felt like they were being robbed, giving the presidency back to the south, of the southern part of the country. So I just want to draw this parallel for the people of Lufa. The people of Lufa has had a vice president before. Here they have the opportunity to get the presidency. If they don't get it, if they get it, only for it to be taken away from them within maybe a year or so, I don't know how they're going to react to it. Prince Johnson has made it quite clear what his intentions are. The man is old. The younger guy is going to do one thing. But Prince Johnson knows he has a tremendous influence on that younger guy, which is Jeremiah Khan. So for me, it's not an issue of politics.
Okay.
We in the United States here, just give me 10 more seconds, please, Mr. Slick.
Yeah.
We in the United States here, we live in a decent life. We can provide for ourselves. The politics in Liberia is not as consequential to us as the people who are on the ground. So the Unity Party and the people like Terry and other people who support this Unity Party, campaign, the reality is, if Joseph Human Brother gets elected, there will be infighting within that party on who's going to hold the influence of President, quote unquote, President Boyka. When the Prince Johnson camp and the likes of more Ali and other people around, President Boyka, there will be conflict brewing. So the best thing for Liberians to avoid all of this catastrophe, you want to go with a third party, go with a communist, go with a bungalow, that's up to you. But Boyka has a lot of unanswered questions, and I can see some, potential problems rising up from his potential presidency if he is to be elected. But thank you for taking my call. I'm listening.
Thank you
You guys
so
are doing
much.
well on the show. Thank you again.
Okay. Well, so we always like to get a comments, and I'm going to bring in Marley Jones. Mr. Jones, good evening. Welcome. Here is our valuable, we don't sanction voices here. We respect their view. Mr. Thomas Jiment. ANC can go to CDC. We do not care.
That is an indictment on Samson told today on the next web, but I will respond to him.
Oh, who's indictment? Who indicted Samson to?
He indicted the ANC.
You the legal counsel for ANC?
No, I'm not sure, but I remember the ANC.
You say you know why they're making decisions. So where you come from?
No, just go ahead.
He got to fight the indictment.
Because the war you use the other indictment that we get, we even get answer here. You want to come bring it. Okay,
but
Mr. Jones.
It doesn't mean it's just
well, maybe clarification. Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
I know you've been watching, but let me just read this here. This is quite something is still breeding that we don't know whether they're going to be an outburst. But this political device with the Boykas, the Yuri, the Samson song, Henry Costa, and all of that, because he said that his song anyway. She tweeted today, about 9 hours ago.
Who?
Anna, you saw that tweet?
Yeah.
Terry, you saw that?
Yeah.
Who tweeted?
Yuri.
Okay.
You tweeted, I try to download that picture, but let me just go through the water and then I'm going to bring you. This is the picture of UP's crowd in 2017. They had the largest campaign rally and the biggest crowd. In the end, they lose 14 out of 15 counties. CDC flogged us and showed us that, the polling crowd does not, it is not anything. Today they say they're coming to show our crowd again. Now, this is still, this is the lady who was on the tag, what do you call that, tag team of Ambassador Boycott. This is a clear indication something is still undone. I don't know their strength, I don't know their political base, but they were allied before. Do you think these people here saying this kind of thing, tweeting, and of course, like how Terry Polito showed, I mean, Unity Party shows strength today. That strength, what I would translate into actual votes, like you said, that's another thing. And one good thing what they did was, you see his base, his home state, Lofa or Foya, that sort of energy was shown. Our own Grand, you saw people there, maybe other places and all of that. There are different things that persuade people actions in getting things done. We don't know whether that will perfect into the actual thing that he needs to get to the finishing line. But Marley Jones, let me just bring you in. Are you still an independent guy, or you on top of somebody?
I say an independent person, Mr. So.
Okay, all right. I'm just curious to know. You watch the image. You watch the images. I'm not sure whether you are following here, but we had a heated argument here. The liberal say with whatever he wants to say, which is okay. But I made it clear this crowd thing. I'm not a fan of this whole crowd thing with these numbers that we see. Who gonna really take Moserado? 891,000, Nima County 308, Bon County 237, Mount Gibby County 184, Lofa 177, Grand Bassa 157. I'm wondering which of these political parties that are going to take 60% or 50% in Moserado, you potentially on the path to winning this whole thing, if that happens. But let me get a reaction on the images and the happenings from the nation's capital today.
Well, I hate to say, because all the images I've been seeing since yesterday from the CDC cam and other cam, it's like
CDC
I see it to be a political charade. I see it to be a political charade in two senses. One, Moserado is not Liberia. That's the first thing. Two, I don't know how the images will be transformed into tangible goods. It's just that all the political parties in Liberia, I think they are economically bankrupt, to be frank with you. If they were not, I would have suggested to the Unity Party to do what they call pre-election registration. That's one of the good strategy, where those who really supposed to vote for you, you do your pre-registration quietly around the 16 county. Then you can project.
This is how projection comes about.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
I am. I'm listening to him.
Okay, so you may, but because of economic bankruptcy or all the political parties, they can't go into that, they can't venture in there. But it's a very good strategy. You tend to have a clear idea what you're supposed to do. It also helps you to show you some loophole, how to close it. You see, because it's a political calculation right there. You see, yeah, it's tedious, but it's very good. Like for instance, the images I saw today, if they have just gone around to say, okay, let's do the pre-registration today. Let everybody enter in our stadium, you register. They will tell you clearly, oh, we have 20,000 people here today. Yes. Then probably you do the same with the rest of the county, but it's capital intensive. So Unity Party can't even do it. then you have a clear idea now what is left to be done, what are the loopholes to close, and where you can attack your opponent. You see, yes, it's a very good strategy, but I see nobody doing it in Liberia.
Yeah, you know your political strength, almost similar to what we were talking here. This is how the people goes after voters here, and they can make a projection because they know exactly. Say we look at, like, say for example, Unity Party, CDC or ANC did that. Try to identify committed people that you are sure of. You look at Moserado County, 891,000. You do some sort of your own polling data collection. Okay, this Moserado is not possible. You be honest with yourself. It's not possible that I want to get 500,000 votes.
Exactly.
But I can get 200 or 250,000.
Yes.
You know you are falling below the belt.
Yes.
Then you go to the next torso state or county there and see where the resources. This is how they do it here. But unfortunately, like you said, it's not happening. So people just assume people that come, they are all for them. All of those people, some of them were bystanders, some of them were just passing through with this very CDC. Everybody that wears CDC chair doesn't mean they're going to vote for CDC.
Yeah, but Mr. Moderator, here my most astonishing disappointment. I thought they were going to have what I call inter-county images today. Like, since the rally is taking place in Moserado County at 5 o'clock, simultaneously, all these rally take place in a 16th county. You can also measure that to some extent. So now we are having it in Moserado 5 o'clock. It should be here in all the 16 counties at 5 o'clock to measure your strength, you know. But I notice it's like, I don't know, these people, they don't have strategy room, or they don't even have strategies. I don't know, maybe Collins can really help me, because some of the things I'm saying, these are things I need to be paid for. But it's like, maybe my brother Collins can help me. Maybe they can have other advanced things than the trash I'm saying. So Collins, can you just help me? You and the liberal.
Well, I think your analysis is very clear, and I think that analysis can be bought. But our Liberia is not like America. We don't have the kind of technology needed to carry on those kind of data analysis. But
is it technology or the money?
You need, that one was saying you need money, you need technology.
No, point of correction. You don't need technology. Okay, let's say you went on the football field today. Just get one roster there. As you can, you put your knee down. As you can, you put your knee down. As you can, no technology involved with that one.
Mr. Marley, people will say that thing is fake, is not real, is not authentic. So what the people already saying we're talking people from way Grand Crew County.
Why do you want to worry about people how you are finding a winning strategy?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, pen and paper nowadays in this digital age is unacceptable, especially for the kind of huge elections. So you need something that will collect information properly that cannot be argued. All right, and with doing that, you need a technological device. So what I'm saying is that people coming writing on sheet. Obviously, it will not be authentic. It won't be. So you
let's flip it the other way. You guys are supposed to be observing. Why, if we send you guys out there from door to door and take your people knee, it's not a crime?
So hold on one second. I think you said something into this here. Let's have a little extension in the conversation here. So this thing here, if they not even get record, they don't have any specific. It's not even today. This is something you have been done long time ago. And I said that before. If I was Senator, my party chairman would not be in the city.
Yes,
he or she got to be in urban outside of. You just come for weekly something. So now, do they have this war room yet? What is the basis if they don't even have figure? What are they tracking? If there's any, because whether they have a target group to say, okay, these are number of people we have in Grand Bassa County, and we are sure these people, they're going to be voting. We're going to be going after them. We're going to be sending robocall, text message, hey, we know you want to go on the farm. We know you want to go XYZ, but we are checking with you. Have you voted? Or make sure you vote. Do they have that sort of, do you think they have that, Terry? So what sort of war,
these people have
what
a
would be the
pooling.
war room that will convince me or ordinary person to say, yeah, we guarantee 200,000 vote from Grand Bassa based on the number that we know Grand Bassa, okay, 200,000 is too much. Maybe we need 100,000 or 80,000, which would be a good chunk of the 157,000 plus. So what figure they're going to be basing on?
Well, I think the way we do it is almost like a manual pooling, because these political leaders, like these senators, representatives, and all that that have crossed carpet to the Unity Party, they all did their own self pooling. They did their pooling and they came up with an analysis that the people are gravitating to JMB.
What kind of pooling is that? On what? Based on what?
By going and let what you say, door to door, community to community, they got their own people that go out and do interview with people in those various places. All right. And they interview the people and the people tell them who they're voting for. That is how it is done. Because like what Mr. Mali is saying, to be honest with you, that is a very good thing. You need to have some kind of data or roster that you can look on and say, yes, I am sure of this particular number. But unfortunately, we don't have that kind of money to have that kind of technology, or we don't have the technology. Even CDC can show you number. They will just tell you, say, we'll bring you 1 million people outside. Then you go look, handful of people gather. Then they say, oh, we're winning the people, the Liberian people result, winning one round victory. There is no data analysis properly and all of that. But from all the opinion pools all over the country, from radio network and all that, you see that Ambassador Boycott is in the lead. And this particular...
From where? The one where we ready to call when Boycott, Cummings, and Joy, we are voting today. Who will win? Is that what you're talking about? This is what
I'm not talking about the ones that are on Facebook. I'm talking about the ones that people call directly to radio stations in Liberia. I'm not talking about the police.
Do you believe in that?
On Facebook. But that is how people found out that President Weah was leading the polls in 2017. That how President Weah won the elections. I believe in polls. Even in America, the people believe in polls.
Is that applicable today in today's presidential race as well?
Yes, it's all over the place.
So
reporters.
And the reason I don't do that here, we are not creating the kind of awareness we need to create with the electors. First of all, we're not giving them choices while they are voting. These people make their own choices. Some people you talk to them, they will say push. The people you talk to them, they will say something. But there should be institutions that will create, and that's some of the things they didn't even go to debate. Only tier one gonglo, Kume didn't go, Boyka didn't go, the president didn't go. Boyka didn't go because he said the president was not going, and all of that. That is a missed opportunity in itself.
Mr. So,
let me bring in the Liberal here before making. I think you're having a headache. Liberal, do you need Tylenol?
Mr. So, I'm just enjoying myself. The route you're taking tonight, which is enjoyable as far as I'm concerned. You are taking a route that, but all I can say to you tonight is, you and Dr. Mali, Dr. Sawyer, you can do, and the central right, you can do all your analysis, all critical thinking, everything. We are going to voters. You ain't even get paper to vote. What will come listen to you? You ain't got paper to vote. And then the second thing is, the people that have the paper to vote, those are the people that we're talking to. Those are the people that are coming on our football feed today. And those are the people we say, thank you. Vote for us. I mean, all our critical thinking, critical analysis, don't think that for me right now, listening to you, I'm enjoying myself. And then you got the central right who say he's gonna clarify my indictment. As those CDC Unity Party member, most Unity Party members, they come from CDC. Is that something strange? But Mr. So, all I can say to you is the night is beautiful for me. You saw the green revolution. You saw the green revolution. And so people are all over
Certainly.
now, uncovered sedition, sympathizer sedition, one-way sedition. They all crying now for the when CDC pulled the crowd. The other day we were all out here congratulating CDC. There's not time for us tonight to, but no, we're going to find why the number in Mosarado County and these kind of people, and then you think they will be able to, that's not your business. You just leave it with us. Green Revolution. That's all we care for. All that thing you're talking, the one thing you're talking, it don't matter to us. So I'm here to enjoy myself. As I told you from the beginning, I'm not going to fight with anybody here tonight. I'm here to enjoy the critical thinking that just show how smart you are. All of your boat people, you can carry your boat one side. The people that were at the stadium today, under the rain, you saw the flood in Liberia.
Right.
The people were swimming.
We did acknowledge that.
So those are the people we're going to tackle our concern with. Not people who in America that ain't even get voting card, that can't vote, that people can listen to. But you don't waste our time, man.
Mr. Moderator, I have one little correction to make for the liberal. You see, and this correction is even applied to the CDC group. I think a group of people normally converge in the political arena at times. They have their sympathizers. Whether they vote or not, they just love Joseph Boakai or love Oponwia. They have the well-wishers. Whether they vote or not, they just love these people. Then they have the real car holder who's supposed to vote. And if you did your little registration to that gate, you got to realize that maybe only 200 people will be voting for you in a whole gathering, and the rest are just sympathizers and well-wishers. You see? So this is what happened at times. There are some people that just like Joseph Boakai, and there are some people that just like Oponwia. And maybe they're not even qualified to vote. They aren't even on our age. But they are all in our population.
People who like Joseph Boakai, Honorable Joseph Boakai to you, Ambassador Joseph Boakai to the LPR, the people who like Ambassador Boakai, they are more than the people who like President Weah.
No. I'm just making a scenario analysis that those who go on this stadium, whether they are, I don't want to use the word, whether they are recycled or they are being borrowed for, okay, I don't want to go that direction there.
Okay, so let's make progress here. I mean, the fact is they show a political strength that is the numbers that they need. Or we are just saying what are that.
When you're going to congratulate Ambassador Boakai and his people for showing that kind of strength today,
No,
when are you going to do that?
No, but Mr. Moderator, I think you're making a mistake. I don't know what you call.
You need to congratulate Ambassador Boakai for pulling that much strength.
I don't know what you call. Wait a minute now. I'm confused. What you got me by political strength? Do you know the personality that appeared to that place today? Do you know the category of personality that appeared to that place? What you call strength?
Kind of book analysis.
No. What you call strength?
Political strength.
The strength aspect that I'm measuring, I'm just taking it from the visual side. But we went in depth to that. I said yes, people came out, but we do not even know what are those people. They are registered voters, and they are qualified to vote. And we talk a lot of things. That's why I brought in the numbers here. But we don't want to relegate that. But you have the right to on there. So now. 23 days to go. What next, Mr. George? Is having a CPP having a function on the 27th? Is that the launching or what?
No, when the launching? The strength.
You didn't see it might give you the other day. But let me say this.
No, Pa George, don't dodge the question. We talk about the strength in Mosarado County.
Of who now?
Oh. His Excellency, the political leader ANC wants to see the strength. Two gone now. One more left.
Listen, ANC will not launch anything in Mosarado.
But then where your strength?
You are complaining about strength, and so why are you asking for about strength?
You see that? I just told you.
We will take our people.
You see my giving. So you didn't follow development from my giving on Friday.
Huh?
You didn't follow development from my giving on Friday.
No. Oh man, when you don't show all your muscle around county, all the other county are useless.
Why you want them to show up on?
Well, I know the Democratic Party have convention in different states. So Maserati is not Liberia.
Oh, okay.
Maserati is not Liberia. We are changing the face of politics.
Hold on.
So let me say this. You said that the people who are in, the people from CDC, they are all in ANC.
No, I said some.
Okay, let me give you some. But how do you determine that these people will just go to CDC? You see, there's a same statement now you're coming to terror. Terror have been throwing the thing around now, you are bought into it. And it just how ridiculous on the party.
Thank you for telling the bazooka to him. Thank you for
that wasn't terror that allowed to something too?
No, I'm just saying something. How many parties in Liberia that doesn't have someone that came from CDC or the MPP? Are you telling me there's nobody in the Unity Party that came from the CDC? Is that what you're telling me? Or because you have a problem with the ANC? So this is what the excuse now you people try to get around. That tomorrow, they didn't support us. But your leader that you're making all the noise about, what has he done about reconciliation? How many times you saw Joseph Boakai on any public fund now? Oh, I will support. Mr. Comey is clear that he would not support Georgia, but he will support any other political party. He's clear on that. But how many times your leader has ever made such a concession in the public domain? Your leader, how many times did he intervene? Mr. Comey just the other day on the radio. You see, people who support me, I don't want them attacking other people or insulting people. We should talk about the issue. How many times Joseph Boakai had done that? This man, you carry your claim, you throw, oh, he was unifier. How many times has he done that? So you come here and tell people that, oh, this group will go so. If the group happen to go anywhere, it's because you fail to reconcile, to talk to people. Okay. You, the Unity Party, what Benin you said, why is it that the two better are now with the Unity Party? They said that they don't need any collaboration. They will win the election solely. That's what they said. That's why Joseph Boakai, that's why the Unity Party is saying that they can go solo and win the election. But the ANC is talking to other political parties. And Terry always say, oh, there are other parties.
Who are they talking
Terry,
to?
how many parties that you can name that have joined the Unity Party since Benin then left? They called it that they were supposed to form with Larry talked about then, that the not with them. Joseph Boakai Chakla, he said he didn't need nobody. He broke it down. So something told to you and Terry, where is the unifier you're talking about? What does it mean that will unite the country? When he has a difference, political difference with people, he takes it to heart. You are the one, the phrase that you use here, but Costa was not smart to listen to what Joseph Boakai said. He said that when you, a private person, that when you take the nail and juke someone, the person who use that nail to juke, they don't feel it, but the person who you juke with the nail, they will always remember. And Costa forget to know that 2017, he insulted Joseph Boakai. So Joseph Boakai just politely came down to him and played him and just dashed him down. Thank you.
Okay, let me go to this phone line here.
203.
Yep.
Yeah, is that Keto?
Yes.
Keto, good evening, welcome.
Thank you, brother. So
yeah, Liberal said you're in hiding.
Of course he is.
Oh no.
I'm shining tonight after that huge showing. He able to show forth. You know that.
I'm on my way from where I wish I could get on early so I can get on the set. So I just I called so I could just until maybe I don't know how long I will be moving for.
Oh.
I just called to give my input.
Fire
and
in
to
the,
be real.
Fire in the hole. Yeah, go ahead.
So today, Unity Party came out and and this is our democracy. We must applaud them. And they put up their crowd, and I'm not going to make any comparison because if I make it, then people say, oh, this is general. Just how, the Liberal applaud, he applauds CDC. Yes, I will applaud Unity Party. But let me make this clear here. Montserrat County is a battleground. It's always been a battleground. Even though it used to be CDC stronghold, it's still today CDC stronghold. Nobody can beat Josh Weah. The man is called Josh Weah in Montserrat County. Nobody can do it. But you will not win overwhelmingly in Montserrat County. That one is clear. It's clear. So the crowd that came out today, they boost the morale of Unity Party. That's a plus for them. That's a plus. But the election, now my thing is, how are we going to look at our elections? Both the Unity Party or the CPP or all the parties in the way. They should stop crying now that somebody will cheat and this will happen and there will be consequence. Let them rally their voters off. Let them rally the people off. Come out. Let's go to this process, with open mind that anybody can win, right? Mm-hmm. So if George Weah wins, Labour or Unity Party should concede. If a Unity Party wins, President, we have always said that, look, the peace of Liberia and the country is bigger than anybody, any government, any president. So he will concede. You're not threatening the peace. They say if he doesn't win, then I'm trouble in the country. No. But the other side talking about it. That's what we should have our conversation right now. The ball is in the middle. It will be centered on the 10th of October. Let's see who have the capacity, the ability to score. Let's see. That's where we're gonna be. But I know President Weah, when we had our grand opening, it was concomitant, it was spontaneous. In all 15 counties, we saw crowd assemble. This Unity Party opening, grand opening, we saw people coming from Bomi, from Basa, and all of
you say you saw people coming from where?
From Basa. In that picture, you see the people coming, they pull trucks, they own trucks.
But what wrong with that?
Trucks, lorry. I can spot the pictures you see it. Coming from Bomi era and Cape Mount, Basa era coming to town. You understand? So when CDC did a launching, you see people coming in truck.
No trucking from no trucking from Buchanan, eh?
No, there was nothing. They people walk. Buchanan had their own what you call it? They had their own launching. Buchanan had a launching. Riverside had a launching. Bone County had a launching. It was simultaneous.
Okay.
So people are not coming from no place.
Let me hold you there. Somebody already disagreeing with you. Yes. Let me bring King into this fry. Sisse, your good friend. I think he said don't pick up he's going to be sending you text. So just ignore it. Sisse, good evening. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? I called you to come on. I was driving. You didn't pick up my call, so I had to rush on.
My phone?
I did your phone, yes, sir. Right after that caller hung up, I called your phone to come on, and so I had to.
Let me come for more trouble. I can attest to that.
I had to hurry up to get here. Having said that, good evening, guys. Look, man.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm disappointed in a few things. Number one, Mr. So has he has managed to infuse his bias against the Unity Party and Ambassador Joseph Boakai into all of the questions he's forming. So the foundations of these questions have always been infused with their bias. And Mr. Miles Jones is coming at an analysis to now I don't know which left field he's coming out of. And Terry, I'm disappointed in you that you sit down here and allow people to push you to the wall on the day that you did what you're supposed to do. I don't support JMD and the Unity Party, but you did what you had to do today. Just like I congratulated the CDC the last time,
right?
You did exactly what you had to do today. Put your hat on and celebrate.
What do you say about the Liberal?
Well, the Liberal, thank you. No, I don't have much to say because last time you brought CDC here and we all congratulated CDC, which was right. We gave them what they did. without.
But what's about our defense? What's about our defense against the two central right here tonight? The conservative.
But at the end of the day, there were some things here, like for example, my brother Malice Jones talking about people who have been to ATS. They're standing in the ring with a pen and paper, asking people where are they? Is that KE the 2PB or 1B? What the last name?
No, you're not standing in the ring to do that, oh man.
So
you're not standing in the ring.
So what are you gonna do that?
No, you're not standing in the ring. In politics, you make sacrifice. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The first place you even accuse the moderator unjustly. You have just accused the moderator unjustly. You've been very unfair.
I can find my own battle. I'm not congratulating
Mr. Male, you're talking two things that are in conflict. Number one, you say they will not be in the ring, but number two, you say they got to sacrifice.
Yeah, but it's a stadium. When you will be standing under the ring to register people?
Hello?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you do your tabata.
Go ahead.
There is nowhere those people are walking in the ring, coming in the ring, you're going to go to get them to register the name without being in the ring. Number one. Number two, if you try to do that with those thousands of people, you are going to create a bottleneck at the ATS. People are not going to get a program done. So you could have, it will be technology, but the other thing is talking about registering people. Registration has ended in Liberia. There's no more voter registration going on. So you can't register people today to vote.
That's your own private thing. That's your own private initiative, oh man.
How do you know that they don't have that?
They don't have it.
How do you know?
I will tell you when you're done.
Oh, but you can interject but you can interject. Tell me how you know. Look, the
Gongolo said don't even have that.
Again, my question will come back to how do you know? How? I'll give you my time to tell me how you know.
I will answer you when you're done.
I'm ceding my time to educate the people here because this platform is where we come to say facts. So
okay,
how you know doesn't have it?
Because I have not seen it happen with any political party, including Gongolo party.
So when people
I have not heard of it, I have not read it, I have not seen it no tablet, I have not seen it on any platform. That this kind of a private thing is a sophisticated thing. Not all parties can even do it. In the first place, all the parties in Liberia, they are politically and economically bankrupt. So you can't even do that. So I have not seen it, read it anywhere.
What does it mean to be politically bankrupt? I'm trying to understand that. What does it mean?
First of all, you don't have the knowledge. Secondly, you don't have the capability. Thirdly, you don't even have the money. Fourthly, no, give me a chance now. You ask me a question, give me a chance. Don't shoot me in the head. Fourthly, you lack strategy. Because it is thing happening at Liberia. Anything that happening, you say you give me a chance to talk. I'm talking again, then you interrupting me.
But I'm going with the answer. It was asked and answered. But
the one I'm telling you, I said I have not seen it. Then you can prove it to me whether I'm lying or not.
Mr. You already answered. Asked and answered. But here's the point I want to make here. When people collect data for their constituents that people don't want to get out, those are private data that don't release. Even here in America, because you know how I know that, because I work for the DFL, the Democratic Party. Okay, you have your internal data that you keep, and you reach out. You don't come to the media and say, "Oh, we got our internal data." Yeah,
you don't have it. You don't have it. Gongolo don't have it.
Did he understand what I just said? Or is he just trying to interject? I was talking about here in America, you went into Gongolo.
I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about Liberia.
You interjected right now, so you're not even listening. See, we gotta listen, not to respond, but listen to learn. That's the point. The other piece is you're talking about the folks should have had a simultaneous stuff. There were other contests today. People were going live from the 8 that was doing the thing too. So it was not just Maserado. You might have only just watched Maserado. It didn't just happen in Maserado. As a matter of fact, even here in the US, there were many states that people were even doing it in.
Where your evidence that the United Party took part in the 16th country? Where your evidence?
Male, we saw the thing all around. Let's do it. I think I made it clear here. I said, even in my
all around the place. Thank you. You're educating Mr. Male because you see it in here doesn't exist. I'm begging you, man. This is LPR. We come with facts.
So let him end his points. Let's start.
Okay. End your point. I will come back to make some correction for you. End your point.
Yeah,
So,
let respect our audience. We want to be like other
congratulations
folk.
to the
Go ahead.
how to call it, to the Unity Party. Congratulations to the CDC. They did their thing. We're waiting for, I think, the 24 or 27 when the CPP, which does campaign a whole different way, also will do their thing, and we judge them based on a different metrics because they don't do the crowd politics. And so our analysis of their launching will be different than how many people to pull up because they don't follow the crowd politics. The last piece I want to talk about was I was on the phone and Mr. Sewell was talking about, for example, having a database and reaching out. And in this country, in America, political parties go to their various states, Secretary of State websites, and they buy this data. And sometimes they have it internally after harvesting it from the Secretary of State, because when you register to vote, you give your phone number, you give your address, and when you vote one time, they mark you. So when I bought data for the most recent election I just ran for a city council candidate here, it will give me people that have voted in the last 3, 4, 5 elections, or I can try to analyze it by people who voted in obvious elections. You go to the election processing entity. In this case, in Liberia, will be NEC. In America, it will be the various Secretary of State offices in those various states, and you buy the data. So this is not something any political party owns. And so to expect that to happen in Liberia, I think it is fallacy. It will not happen because it doesn't happen here in the great United States.
You want to come in, Malin, before I can?
Yes. I still stand by all my points I did advance on this platform. I said, the parties in Liberia, politically, they don't have the strategy for what I just said. Economically, they are bankrupt. They don't have the money. So if you went to the stadium, then not everybody's saying that you got to enter this. You got to enter the stadium before you get in there. Nobody will hit a sound mind will be standing on the ring, registering people. It's not possible. Okay, it's a strategy that most political parties don't do, but it's a very good strategy. So if you coming out to disprove that and try to push me around for evidence, then try to educate me now what I'm going to even get this stuff, because it's a clear stuff that give you 4 analysis. 1, it show you your gap. 2, it can let you know about your strength. What are there are 800 people here? Give me a chance now.
Please explain on how it shows us our gap. Please explain on that.
I'm just telling you.
No,
when I don't, when I don't, you can come back. You're not going to hold me in between the rows, so you got to wait.
Let me conclude and we can explain.
There's a gap, all right? 1, it show you the gap. What are all the people there? Are car holders, or they are sympathizers, or they are well-wishers. Not everybody went on our stadium there are car holders. Some people are underage. They just like the Kennedy. I said it, and they just go there because they want to grace the occasion. Not everybody down there are voters. That I can tell you that, because I tell you from one fact, I had 2 of my friends who even went to that place that they belong to CDC. They went there and they went to jubilate. Not that they for Joseph Boakai. They are all the people that went down. Yes. So, 2. Hey God. You want to talk?
They're not voters, then you use that example. And if they belong to
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That there are a whole lot of category of people that go down there and make up that population. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm driving at. All right. So that's the second correction. And the third correction here is that not everybody go shout Hosanna, Hosanna. They need Jesus Christ, or they pray, they die for Jesus Christ. No. This is politics. People just go probably just to see. These are the type of population that come together. So the strategy I'm talking about, if it didn't work on the fee, privately it can work. Now you link in there, the voter SSI has ended ever since. This is your own private venture. It is not in violation of anything. Okay? So, you can get your member listing, and it gave you your strength. You say, oh, 300 supposed to be here. I've got 200. What can I do? How can I close the gap? How can I make a follow-up? You see, this is why the SSI is very good, but no political party can do it because you don't have the money. Secondly, you don't have the strategy.
Thank you. let's make progress.
That is a very flawed
Said
analysis.
something.
Well,
So
Very flawed.
that ought to you. That by analysis,
Yeah.
you can't tell me a flaw.
Okay, so okay, yeah, let's make progress. We have a few minutes.
That by
minutes to
analysis,
go.
they say a flaw.
No, but I can
Yeah.
judge your
How are
analysis. You're making it for us. I can make a judgment on it.
No,
Yes,
Mr.
I can.
So,
That's the reason you put it
Mr.
out.
So,
I can't come and tell you say your analysis you made a flaw.
I
And
told
that's your
you
opinion. You
earlier,
are entitled to it. I can say that.
guys,
No,
can
No, it's not flaw.
I think
No,
everybody
no, it's not flaw, oh man.
hold on.
They tell me it's not flawed, but you
No.
Let me say.
This is how you see it. I disagree with you. Probably you don't understand it.
Can we
Listen,
talk one at a
maybe you
time?
don't understand it. I think that's your problem.
Male, guys.
Can we
I
talk
think
one at a
people-
time, please?
We don't want to be like those.
If you don't understand something, ask.
Yeah, okay.
I'll
let's do it.
educate you.
Several clarification you could give me.
Let's do
It's
it
still
one at a
flawed.
time, guys. It's for the sake of those that are taking time to listen to us. Okay, here is my point. I have now remembered. I'm very careful in putting my words together. You people, you get a pick. If I get a pick here, trust me, I will take up my garment. But it's good that people are their own will to say they are supporting XYZ. And my point, because I've heard many times surrogates, supporter who will win. Everybody said they will win. And so we need to point out the figures, and that's one of the things that prompted me to get this one here. And which, of course, where I differ with Mali to have this exercise to have been done like today under this sort of terrible weather. That's, I mean, only God can get that executed. And that's one of the reasons I say if I will even stand up better my party chairman, because these numbers is not an overnight. These numbers were verified in consultation with these political parties. When people register to make sure their name correct, of course they have access. So are they targeting voters? We are not hearing much of it, but for anybody to come to a conclusion to say, oh, because the people show out, I mean, since the voter registration finished, some people some people have died, some people left the country, other people might be going on the farm because of variety of reasons. We are just saying that these politicians, they need to stop to say, oh, to just draw a conclusion, because that is just a wrong message to send to the audience. But we're not going to make issue out of that. But this is the beauty of this network. Now it's all over. What next? What should the Unity Party been doing that? Liberal, I don't know whether you want to come, because tonight you say that's a net, whatever it is.
Mr. So, I've already told you.
What?
And you didn't listen to me. You brought, Mr. Center Right and Mali's, with all of your analysis and high class analysis, and then you, on top of that, you allow the mathematician to join us. And what am I supposed to say? All I can say to you is that what I've been saying to you all night. You people, y'all go with your Google class analysis and educated stuff. We already have people that show up today in the ring, that the people we were taught to. When y'all tell your book business, that PhD and that, oh yeah, LPR, you're something else. You got a PhD and you have a man who also halfway to PhD, and you have them analyzing the importing of what Ambassador Baka showed today. I love myself.
Let me turn to Terry.
No, but what, before you go to Kerab land, or because what I'm saying.
But you said, you see that? You said
you kept repeating yourself.
To you guys, it doesn't interest you. You see, that's what I like about you.
You say you don't have anything to say.
I don't worry about what I say. Don't worry about it. Just listen to me.
No, worry about the platform. You're speaking English. You say you don't have anything to say. Then you say
okay, now you're sure. You're quiet. Tomorrow the time. You're quiet. You enjoy yourself. I ain't got nothing to say.
But we'll be here tomorrow.
Finish telling you what to do to me. You done it. You're quiet.
Oh my goodness. Liberal, go. You finished?
Yeah, I got no choice. Emon just told you to shut me up. You shut me up. So what choice do I have?
No. Don't say that. Start talking like a sorrowful person. Make your point. But you said you didn't have anything to say. That's why. Okay. Go ahead. Make your point.
Okay. The point that I'm making And it's very simple. You come to us, Green Revolution. Let's move this country to the next level. You start the thing here. Ambassador Bakai and the rescue team proved to you tonight again. You sit down here, first thing, all of you supposed to individually congratulate Ambassador Bakai
Not
for
me.
the huge,
I've never done that.
For what?
I have never done that. Why
Well,
would I
you're supposed to.
congratulate?
When
You
you
get a
want to
star,
save
you
your
can
country,
do
we're
it.
trying to rescue your country, you're supposed to thank us. So I just say you thank us and we accept it. We will do our job. The people who show up today, those are the people that we will talk to and we will do the retail politicking. That analysis, people should stay in the rain. Where you need money, okay, where you need money, something to under the rain, in the water, under the water. We ain't got time for that. We will go to there and prove that these people are important to the process. That's all I got to say. Now you're quiet. I'm listening.
Absolutely, we are in the call with that, and we never put down anybody. But Terry, let me just bring you in here. The liberal is always look on one side of the world, and that's fine. I like you're open-minded guy. For me, in the game of politics, it is not over until it is over. Sometimes people that sort of momentum or people get over something, and then they don't get to the finishing line. And I say here, and Malice came back. I mean, but then when I throw you into, then he went into coma. I said the Unity Party shows a political strength. Part of that is because what they did today, good number of people turned out. I watched the images from Lofa last night, images from my own Grand Gilead and other places. That is good because those things attract other people to say, oh, wait a minute, something is going. But I'm not a guy who likes to be complacent. Now, what should the party focus on now in the next 23 days? We can say momentum is very key because that helps to kind of like elevate your, message. What should be the focus of the party now? Now, this much talk about despite of the heavy pool of rain today. It was defied by Liberians, by Unity partisans, supporters, and other people who might think, what should be their focus point right now?
Well, I think the focus point should be out of Montserrat County, like what we have been saying, to go to Grand Bassa County, if possible, to even go as far as Grand Coup and Grand Jita, because these people are galvanizing. You see, one of the strategies that Unity Party employ in this particular elections, which I think is the first time I saw this strategy, was that having the political pundits planted in other counties earlier on, because they knew that they did not have much time, and they were very effective to do that. And so as a result, Ambassador Boyka, who was in Montserrat County, and that is what I believe, that the strategy today worked. It worked because Ambassador Boyka went to every district in Montserrat County. So that alone, his presence, because you want to go to your employer. The people that are going to employ you, they have to evaluate you. Right. Ambassador Boyka did that in Montserrat County, and that rose up the momentum. So when CDC came up with the crowd and they listened to President, we are making certain statements, the people got angry. The people got angry because Ambassador Boyka had already gone to them. The people had evaluated him. He had spoken to them and all of that. So he ordered them. He said, I want you to come out. And the strategy was, most of the political the political leaders, those senators, they all came from different parts of Montserrat today. And that was why it was more effective. Jeremiah Kun came from Rayleigh, or Yomdi Kanga Lauren came from Nigeria House, right? Or Dara Didon from another location. And on what his name, the ambassador himself started his campaign and pulled that group from SKD. So they spread themselves all over the place, and they made the announcement, and the message resonated with the people. That is what you want to do, and that is what you want to keep doing. So the next thing I expect them to do is to move now into the counties, like Grand Bassa County. Like, you just put all the numbers of all the vote-rich counties. Those are the things you want to do. You want to go to Grand Bassa County, you want to go to Lofa County, and all of that. And I think Ambassador Boka is planning to resolve, to just, end the campaign in Lofa County. But, you see people jubilating in Grand Judea County. These are counties that have fallen continuously to President Weah, to the CDC government. So you want to go there. You want to engage them. You want to go to Grand Coup, if possible. You want to engage those people. You want to, because they are going to employ you. Your employer want to see you. That's why I say I admire Councilor Gonglo, because he went to the people. All right, these are your employer. We are going to employ you. So you got to come to us and tell us what will validate you in our mind to give you the employment that you are requesting for. So I think they need to do that, and they need to do that more efficiently.
They need to do that more efficiently, and that's quite correct. And I hope they're going to listen to some of you guys, because even I'm quite sure there's some nervousness within the CDC saying what those images are sought from Grand Judea, because from the history of Grand Judea and those southeastern side, they have been a very strong hold to see people. I saw Ellis Grain, and no, this is Moserado. No, this is okay. No, this is Grand Judea. Yes, 64,000 Sano, River G, Maryland, Grand Coup, because you want to demean, you want to kind of strangulate his votes that coming from our side. To see people down there kind of like really were in good numbers today, that is a concern. Who is on edge now? And Amos George, I'm not sure whether this is going to be a friendly question with you, because you talk about A here, but there is a kind of competition here. The two major opposition, we say the ANC, Unity Party, of course, your own Congress there. I don't want to get in trouble with CC.
But why you say, of course?
I know you know what you're talking about. So, will ANC go ahead to do our own traditional thing, or would they want to also show some sort of measurement? Because we get a way of doing this thing. Should they do that, or they should just do their own thing?
Mr. So, the ANC has shown this kind with the crowd politics, like the ANC has shown strength before. You saw when they were in Bunker the other day. You saw in Nima, you saw in Basel. Or Friday, they were in my Giving. Maybe you didn't call that one, they were not interested when you saw the crowd out in my Giving. So the issue here is, let me say this. Kete, let me remind you. I said, I don't want to hear the word trucking people. I don't want to hear a political party. I don't want to hear it. If you are having a rally or convention, you bring your partisans from around the world, from around the country. What's wrong with it? The last time CDC brought people from all around. But I go by the CDC and the party who have introduced it in trucking. There's nothing wrong with people bringing their partisans. If they brought people from Basel, that was a rally. The party is supposed to show up. So CDC, get all this in here. You're a unit, you get all this in here. Because you're the only problem when you bring people there, it's okay. But when other people do all that trucking, all that crowd, they pay people, they drop people, that's a normal routine. If you have a convention, a big rally, you get a party from around the closer area. If you can bring them, you bring everybody in. It's to watch your show strength. So CDC, just leave this. You are a United Party people, just leave the trucking business. They're not bringing strangers, they're bringing people who are sympathetic to them or sympathize with them or supporters. They are coming to attend the rally. Get over it. They put out the number, you said you congratulate them, but then you go again. Oh, we got pictures. They brought the trucking people from Basel. Who the trucking? I see you remember the trucking from Basel? Another party, and you want the people, they say they're launching their campaign. If they will bring 50,000 people who fail the student, they'll put 50,000 people there. If they brought them from bombing that party. So you leave this thing here. Let us talk about what policy or what the people are going to do to end this campaign. That's what we'll be talking about. And something, let me tell you again. When you put your foot in your mouth, then you want to start crying when people come after you. Then you want to act like an orphan child that you got no man, you got no power. The people just hate you. No.
Wow.
You can hear you started with
police will not be easy.
The teacher job we had the 2 elections. That the first thing came up was slap it from you. Or the teacher job we had the two elections. When we push you, then you go for VOA. We told you VOA was quoting our source. VOA did not show any evidence based on our investigation. Now, you left from there again.
You just realize it. Maybe you for over 5 minutes, just realize it.
Now you left from there, you jump. Oh,
it's an instigator. Are you serious?
So that is not Terry. It's
so I'm telling you,
liberal.
Because
so
your political leader has failed, has not mustered the courage to preach unity. So now you want to come wrap around ANC. Oh, they will go to CDC. Let your political party do the work. They had that the Dubai they push them or they say they don't need that the Dubai because they can go alone. Now, the game is in the third quarter. You're talking about, oh, you know, the ANC will do that. No. You people say you'll go alone to win this election. The ANC is talking to other political parties. But you people have made it clear to us, emphatically, that you're going to win this election one round. So we're hoping to see how you're going to win the election.
Okay.
But you cannot give the numbers. Or we're going to win one round. You can't give a number. CDC, the same thing. What is the numbers? We look at past numbers. Two elections. I mean, 3 now. Nobody has won 50 plus 1. So how are you going to arrive at these numbers? If he says I can help me get a mathematician. No. So you're bringing us so says I can help the crunch the numbers. We ain't got to pay him. We'll ask him.
Why you want to pay him?
No, because we got money, but we just want him to break all this. Now, lastly, the question that Mali Kindo, Mali, let's be honest here. If you want to get record of your voters, you do it in a small setting. Now that play over almost 15 or 25,000. There's no way you can do that there. You can't do it there, Mali. Let's just be honest.
So you do agree that there people are more than 25 to 30,000 today?
Hold on. Maximum of that fee can hold at 10,000. If you say give it 15, 20,000, you can't go above.
You gotta have one show for the two people that them flower with them white.
If you say you want to put 35,000,
it won't be easy.
You come then you talk about stampede. So Mali, I just want to make this point clear.
There's a thing guy who talks about capital punishment, right?
Yeah. I just want to make this
another form of
that occasion yesterday in Liberia, there was no way anybody would have wanted to register people. Maybe if they want to do it, you can do it in a small setting, big announcement that look, we'll be recruiting our people this area. If you come in on the function, we want you to come and register. We'll register people there. The Democratic Party do it, all the political they do it. So I just want to close on that note.
Okay. Wow. See, you touch everybody. You don't let any. Will you be the police commissioner when ANC?
I text my brother. So I told Councilor Gonflo because Councilor Gonflo, we're talking to people. So I can't.
You're talking to Gonflo?
Okay.
Before we go,
you can talk to me. You're not like
let's do a quick spin here too. No, we are literally in the end times of this whole thing here. And what is going through your guy at this point in time here with this whole thing? 23 days to go. What sort of conversation that is taking place? What he needs to do? He has done a lot. What is he considering at this time? And maybe we to provide free consultancy for the good of our country. All of these contenders now, what should be their focus point at this time? What they have not done before that they think they can do now to be a game changer in your mind?
So we, and when I say we in the Gonglo movement, we planned for this. We anticipated this because we know past elections, closest to election day, we've seen rallies. We've seen last time I was in Liberia, close to the election, I saw when the CDC brought a helicopter at the time. And I actually had to leave the city just to have a peace of mind. I had to leave and go to Kirisburg. And so we anticipated this. And the CDC came out, and if we want to be generous and say to put 30,000 people out around the stadium, and we say the Unity Party people came out, and to be generous and say maybe they put the same 30,000 people around the stadium, you just put a number up there of almost 1 million voters in Masorado County.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the people that came out to these two political rallies to be maybe almost equivalent to less than the voters in Grand Cru. And so the work that we knew we were going to be doing is we understand that there are some folks, they're like Trumpians. Like it doesn't matter what the candidate does, they're going to vote for the candidate. And those were the people who, with the water today, everywhere, that got in our water were there. And those are the same people that followed that went to the CDC. And sadly, the commentary on today is it should be a shame on both the United Party and the CDC that people were swimming in water nearly 8 years. And these two political parties have run Liberia for 18 years almost.
18 years.
But to answer your question is what we have been doing, what we continue to do. Always sit there, one gonglo. Usually you'll be in a one-man car and you stay driving around in places and talking to people because we understand that there are folks who who can still be swayed. And those are the people we still talking to. We haven't given up. We know people will pull crowd. We know the United Party and the CDC can pull crowd. That is their thing. You can't take it from them. But what we've been doing is trying to expand the electorate, go beyond those 60,000 people that have made it to the stadiums and try to talk to the vast majority of the people to try to convince them that elections are not held yet and that you shouldn't be swayed by crowd politics. And this thing about peer pressure in politics, political peer pressure should not be a thing that affect them. And so we've been doing that talk. And I think to a great extent, it's been working for us. I've seen the ANC to some extent actually try to do that. And that's why I said I'll be watching for their launch because I have to judge them based on something else because the ANC does not do crowd politics. They've tried that before. It didn't work out so well. That $75,000 thing at that time. So they do their thing a little different. They still do engagement. They engage with people. So we have to see what their engagement come up to and what their strategy is. But I got to be fair. If we weren't prepared for this, if we hadn't thought about this in advance, we will be shaking in our camps right now because when you see those kind of crowds get pulled by JMB and by our President Weah, it will shake you if you weren't ready for it. It's something that is meant to intimidate other political.
Yes.
That is the whole intent of that. Is to intimidate other political parties to say, "Oh my man, I think we can beat people there." But we have planned for that.
Let me pick out on you quickly before I go to Terry. Is there sort of contingency plan in terms of after the first round or whatever it is? What is he considering? Are you guys having some sort of conversation? I know one thing all of the opposition they have in common is to have this president as a one term. Is there any conversation ongoing now as a contingency plan from the Gonglo side? And who are they talking to?
If Gonglo was only running to replace President George Manneh Weah, he won't be in the race right now, because he has said that if the reason he's running for there are other people who can do it, then he got no reason running, and there are many people running to replace George Weah, so that's not an intent for him running. The intent is to put Liberia on a better trajectory, on a faster move towards development, towards economic freedom and health sector reform and governance reform and reform in our security system and our justice system. But you asked the question if we've been thinking about what happens. Yeah, we've been thinking about come October 10th, when we make it to round two, we'll be calling on the other political parties that have not made it to round two to join us to make sure we get a resounding victory against whoever goes to round two with the LPP.
No, you're not going to answer that. That's okay. Terry. Yeah. So your guy, from all indication, the show out today is impressive in the world of politics. It built, send a different message. I don't know how this whole resurrection came about lately, but it became like a talking point. And what they did, their strategy to kind of like get people, that's the effectiveness of public relations. They had their big guns planted in different places. So what that does was it stresses the media to get attention, to get it outside there to the public world. So whoever gave that sort of counsel, I think that person did a good job. Beyond that, it's not over. Who should Ambassador boycott? He's a principal contender from all indication and becoming a main challenger. And there are tons of other political parties still there. It's all about interest. Should he start making some political concessions, start talking to other folks, get into political bargaining. That's why politicians, that's why I says, no, they cut deals. Why are they still holding on? They can't cut deals to get this thing done once and for all, because that creates a political intimidation on your main opponent as well. Are they doing that? Would they consider doing that?
Well, obviously, you see, Mr. So, Ambassador Borga is a guy who understands the people and understands the politics of the day-to-day Liberian politics as compared to many other political leaders. That is the reason why he is formidable. Take, for example, Ambassador Borga could bring on board the MDR, knowing very well that there will be huge amount of criticism. Knowing also that regardless the criticism, the MDR control a huge vote, all right, in Liberia. Prince Johnson has been a contender, whether you like him or not. Prince Johnson came third place in 2017 elections. President Weah had to go for him, all right? So anybody who wants to win elections, you have to have the strategy and you have to have these formidable political leaders on your plate. And I believe Ambassador Borga has been engaging. Ambassador Borga took advantage of the split in the NPP and went for Barney. Barney is with him. Yeah. He took advantage of the split in the LP and went for Yombly and DeLong, knowing very well that each of these political candidates carry weight and carry numbers. Elections are about numbers. That is what you want to do. So Ambassador Borga understands the day-to-day politics and the modus operandi of the political landscape of Liberia. So he's going to definitely take advantage of that. I see Honorable Gonglo is a weight, he's a brain. Obviously, we're negotiating. I know my senior brother says.
Oh, you're negotiating?
You know, definitely. I know my senior brother says is aware. I also know that he was
taking you. I'm aware of nothing.
Wow.
But anyway,
I see why you are dancing around my question now. I'm telling you, let the cat out of the bag.
I don't want to get stuck tonight in the bubble with the ANC people. That is why I'm not even trying to respond to.
But you can't go there, Terry.
You
can't go there with the ANC.
Because obviously, most of his accusations have no proof as always. So, you know, he flipped on the Liberal, and I'm so surprised tonight because the Liberal seems very excited. He's not going to fight back.
It's not true. But name three. That is not true.
Okay, no. We can't really get a conversation. He's making a closing argument. You can go to the
That's not true.
We call it closing argument.
You know,
he's making a closing.
He's bringing in a lot of gossip.
No, just tell me. Don't talk about that. You're talking about. Tell me.
To denigrate an astute politician with an impeccable political record that cannot be questioned. Are you understanding me?
Nobody
So you see,
Bagu, you're strong.
So you know,
guys, what a beautiful night.
Let us discuss like what Mr. So said. Mr. So,
no,
even if it calls for Ambassador Borga to go to Mr. Cummings and communicate with him, he would do it. Let me tell you something. Mr. Cummings is a genuine character. I will say this publicly on the show.
Oh, you know that for
when Ambassador Borga, or God's sake, Mr. Cummings went to him. And I respect that because that is why and like what Mr. George said, that Mr. Cummings could say, you know what? If Ambassador Borga end up in the second round, I will vote for him. But whether if his surrogates will agree, that is questionable. But again, I am strongly convinced that Ambassador Borga is leaving no stone unturned in this election to defeat Ambassador what your name, President Weah.
Well, let me ask one quick question, yeah. Unity Party people, why you always call the man ambassador? The man had a higher portfolio beyond ambassador. The man former vice president. Why you stay calling him ambassador all the time?
I agree. That is just for me. That is just familiar. That's why we always say that. But you're right, Sissy. He's the
So let
he's
me ask
former
the
vice
question here,
president
Stacey.
of Liberia.
Where is Jonathan Dolake of the ANC? What happened to him?
My brother has been busy with some he's dealing with trying to get family together, starting the job and everything. So he must have spoke the other day. He should be coming back on the show.
Yeah, I think I've not been doing well. I need to call him. I thought he was the chief investigator for the 75K something where.
So is that what you wanted to ask instead of then you go into what happened to Jonathan? Why you just come back?
You can't water can't pop a hole.
No, because you're not to be around the bush. Be direct.
Well, maybe police commander in Bonka, then I think I'll be party group.
So just go ahead so I can come to Mr. Terry back.
They were came to Felela. You didn't Felela to the police.
Okay, Mala Jones, what's your final word?
Well, my final word here is just a little hint to Sissy.
Oh boy.
You see, we need to be a conversationalist on this platform. You see, opinion are not legal issues. Opinion are not legal things. People are entitled to their opinion. But when we start applying adjective to qualify other people's opinion, then it becomes complicated. I use the issue of the stadium that I still stand by, that is a good strategy. Whether in small or big pieces, is still a good, very, very good strategy. And I also said that even going from house to house, trying to get all this statistic on your own privately is a very, very good strategy. So those were suggestions, and I feel I'm entitled to the opinion. So when a member of a panel is coming out to apply a term like flaw, it takes me aback, because a conversationalist, I don't think we should be going in that direction. I'm entitled to my opinion. You can accept it, you can leave it, you can add to it, or you just keep quiet. You see? So
quick question here.
I come in now, let me learn. And so I think it would be a good thing for us to maintain that level of conversational pattern when we're discussing issues. At times we come on this forum where we will bring facts and defend them. Those are facts. And at times we come on this platform with opinion, and those are opinion. I cannot get an opinionate what the moderator has said. No, that's his opinion. He's entitled to it. I can disagree, and that's it. Leave it right there. I can't force him to turn around. So I just want to be mindful of those things, because the analysis I made here is my analysis, and I think I stand by it. They are good ones. Nobody in their assignment will go stand on a ring to take, then something might be wrong with you, someone will ask you a question. But I think it was a good suggestion, and I stand by it. And I think next time, people are not doing it in Liberia. And the fact here is that I have not seen it on no platform. I've not seen it in a tablet. Something happening in Liberia, you hear it, you know it. People will take it to be something good. But those are what I call proactive issues that can be taken by a political party. If you are proactive, those are some of the characteristics for me I will use to define you. Committee set aside to do that job. An ad hoc committee is not everybody. And it gives you a very good idea where you are, where you're supposed to go. It even helps close gaps for you. You see, it even say, oh, we are short here. Oh, we're 50. Oh, I think we got to do more work to, add up. So I'm saying most political party, almost or non-political party are doing it because I have not read it, I have not seen it, or I ever talk about it. Pooking or we all heard about it. They particularly have not heard about it. And that is my evidence. And I stand by it, and it's my opinion. You see? Okay. And they're not doing it, one, because they're not proactive. Two, no strategy. Three, they're economically bankrupt because it's capital intensive. You need money to get involved in those things. So if someone will come say your opinion is flawed, this is my first time even seeing that. So I just wanted to bring that home. And finally, I would like to go with Terry analysis that there's a need for the Vera political party to advance into the Vera County, the Leeward County, You know, what they did in Monrovia, that's a good idea. But the issue of strength is something that debatable. I don't know what that strength is, but I think it's a good idea. So taking it into the Leeward County, especially the southeastern county, George Weah's backyard, I think it would be a very good thing. Joseph Barker don't have to go there. He may not have the strength to go there, but he follow us, rescue all the rescue agents in the sinking, go there. And I think we can also see who all will show up, you know, and from there, I think we'll also give them their flower, I think. Thank you.
Terry, what do you mean that Joseph Barker don't have the strength to go there? He may not have the strength to go there. What do you mean by that?
Oh, because it's a distance and the road is bad. Except probably he take helicopter, which of course I doubt. No money. I mean, United Party, as I learned, unconfirmed sources tell me that United Party is broke.
Okay, so can I make a statement because I know I was called out?
Let him finish.
No, let him go ahead. No, let's go ahead first.
Yeah, because I know you're trying to see if I bring in fire, you want to wait for somebody else to come in between. What I wait for 20 people, I will still bring the same fire I bring in. So you might as well just do it right now. Look, Mr. Mali, I come to this platform because I come here and I believe that we are a force for good and we educate people. So I will not sit down here for people to come with misinformation, disinformation that is not based on any research whatsoever. And then you don't want me to have a say about it. You yourself in your statement say that it is an opinion and people can agree or disagree with it. I did not say your opinion was flawed. Again, maybe you weren't listening. I said your analysis was flawed. And when you make an analysis in any professional area where people get together, where there's conversation, when you make an analysis, you open up for people to make a judgment. That is why you make an analysis, for folks to make judgment. And I said your analysis was flawed, and I still stand by that because I asked you several questions. I asked you on what it meant to be politically bankrupt. That's one of the things you put in there. And then you went on a rant. And then you also stated that the city, the Unity Party did not have this event happening anywhere else. And when I said it, you said I was a lie. Mr. Joyce had to come in to correct you. And now you're saying that because you haven't seen something somewhere, that is the evidence that that thing does not exist, which in itself is a flawed analysis. And the word flawed means it has imperfections. So that analysis has imperfections. I don't know why you're taking it so personal. If you come up and you make a statement here, folks have the right to challenge that statement and push back on it. This is a public space. That's what we come here for. So I don't know why your feelings is tied to that, but I still stand by that. That was not something. That Mr. Joyce even told you that was not something that's even doable. Beyond that, and the issue of things happening simultaneously, all the places that you're not aware of, you came back to push and say the Gonglo movement does not have a certain database. And I said, how do you know that? You said you know that. And you said, if I give you the chance, you tell me. I asked you how. You said because you haven't seen it on the internet, so it doesn't exist. Right? And for me, that is not an analysis that is far away from being flawed. And I still stand by that.
So, and that's why I wanted to kick in the question, but we're not going to relegate this. Yeah. I'm not sure we are analysts to be opinionated. I think our conversation here should be facts. Only the callers, people should be expressing their opinion because they count on us to also give information. But that's the beauty of this network here. At the end of the day, I will settle the score. Let's go to our patron, Samson, to a good friend, Amos Joy.
Now, let me say this. Look, thanks to all of you people. This is what this thing is about. Exchange ideas with pushback on one another. But it doesn't mean that we don't respect one another. But this is the public space. So you saw when Kenneth said the people brought people from Buchanan. I pushed back on him. I said that's a normal thing for political party to do. It's when you people got problem when other people doing it. When you're doing it, nobody, I mean, for me, I don't color you people. But here's the thing. Mr. Collins, let me tell you this. Let me just say this to you. This evening says this is it. You just talked about over there again. You say, I say something ridiculous about it, man, that got impeccable character, this and that. But you can't name one thing. What I have said that you have come to prove that this is not true. When Joseph Boakai told us that when he gets tomorrow, he was going to settle the CPP business. When Kosa was raining insult on Mr. Cummings, Joseph Boakai, this man, this diplomat, this 43-year experience in government, could not stand up to say, hold on, You can disagree, but you don't insult him, you don't disrespect him. He never said it one day. Am I lying on him? No, he did that. He did that. So I'm not lying on him. And he was spoken about it. Tell us I hate stop it. Then, and I can't say he didn't do it, then I'm lying. But this is the man say he got an impeccable character. If you have an impeccable character and people in your group are doing something, you should come out to say, look, hey, that's not me, that doesn't represent me. I don't want you going down that line. The issue of Prince Johnson, you just said Prince Johnson is part of your group, supporting you people. Prince Johnson has said a horrible thing in recent time. How many times Joseph Parker came to tell Prince Johnson you can't say this? No. Jeremiah Kuhn said 300 children were being sold in Basel. At the time he was there, $5. They put children in the well. I said that is lies. Is that, can you prove that? That 300 children were sold in Basel from Nima County? Can you prove that? Can you tell me that children were put in the well in Nima? Can you prove that? Is that lie? I know you love your partisan and your senior barrel, but I would say what is true until you come back to challenge it and show me, say, no, this is what happened. Other than that, I will continue to say, you and you can say tabata. But I'm saying, when people doing those things, they're not trying to question the character.
You are something to say what's going on now.
No, I hear myself from Total. I mean, I'm from Jamboree. He's from Total. You know, I will pass the time before I go to Jamboree. But you can't do nothing to me there.
Okay. The Liberal Progressive, good night.
Oh, wait, says it.
Oh.
Did you
want to say that again?
You had a fundraiser yesterday?
Yeah, I will share that information. Yeah, we had it, and
yeah, okay.
we're still continuing.
Yeah, after the share it with me. After
I carry away too from work. Yeah. The link. Is that a link?
No, I will share.
Yes, no, your number to me.
Tomorrow is the official birthday. So
I get my closing here. You start sharing preliminary here already.
No, I need some.
You already said good night. Why you got to close it?
You said good night.
You're not talking.
My closing statement is that Eula is in crisis. I'm inviting some other people to come on our show to discuss the crisis in Eula. There was no election.
I see getting text in one car.
Election did not take place. Election was canceled, and now there is a power struggle. The board is saying that they have administrative authority to now run the organization, and the administration is saying no, they don't have the authority. So Eula is in crisis, and Mr. To, your organization in crisis.
But man, he's the chief of crisis.
Anyway, our past sorry, our mouth fool us. Our past sorry, our mouth fool us. So, good night.
So I would say anything.
All right, guys.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
Tara Collins, thank you so much for the event. Amos George.
Thank you, Mr. Good night to everyone.
My brother Mali, I will call you on the blind side with Tom, man. Have a good night, man. You know I love you.
Wait, say it. Where am I from Lofa?
Yeah, the man myself from Lofa, they were talking on the
but you know, the man who made Joseph Koye.
But we're not been in by George. We don't want to spoil this thing. It's not Lofa issue, it's intellectual issue.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like the politicians down there, they mixing politics with a lot of traditional other things. No, this is a straight intellectual issue.
You walk into
we resolve it intellectually.
Okay. But I just say it's
the call you walk in one, Mr. Mali was saying when you walk in one.
Oh no, that is entitlement. I can't play in that terrain.
I mean, good night, man.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.